Big up, big up, big up, big up, and big up once again to everyone out there watching a very, very, I don't know if it's entertaining, but it's certainly been a nail biter if you are an England supporter. And I am joined today by none other than Lee. How are you doing, Lee?
Good, mate. Good. A lot better now England have scored.
Yep. Scored
I'd resign
twice.
myself to the you were going out. But it got late. It got so late in the day. I'd resign myself to the fact we were going out there.
Yeah. It looks like you guys are. It looks like England is going into basically a defensive shell, I guess you could say, right now, because Kane has just taken a seat. And it looks like they're bringing on Kanza, and they also brought on Gallagher. So,
yeah, that's the smart move, isn't it? That's the smart move. What you'd expect to just go with Tony up front.
Yeah, I agree. Honesty's got a good point. Honesty's saying out here, bless up, 12th man. Can we have a petition to get Trent and Joey G back to LFC? They need to just go back to Liverpool. They're not going to. What was the point? Was they could have watched the game from their TV and with their families rather than be sitting on the bench watching this drag of a. Like, I get it. It's a good performance in the sense of they're getting a result so far, but they had to really, really stretch to get this result.
You'll have seen this being out in America, but Gary Neville made an impassioned play at half time of normal time. Trent to be brought on. He said it's a travesty for a player like Trent not to be playing a part. This was Gary Neville.
Yeah. Trent's been a good portion of their offensive output, if you want to call it that, has been from Trent as of late. But today they had their chances. I mean, like, they did have their chances. I don't know why Foden went off sides on that goal that should have been a goal. I mean, like, he was ahead of his defender. He didn't have to rush it.
Yeah.
But he,
Foden, wasn't it? It was really amateur from Foden. And I've been disappointed with Foden because he's had a good season and City have had a good season, and for him to perform so badly so far, like, hasn't gone down well with me. It is because he's a Man City player. I'm saying it. I will be honest, and I don't like him. I don't like Phil Foden as a person. I don't know.
Yeah.
How he's on the pitch, his mannerisms on the pitch, along with Rodri, with the exaggerated dives, rolling, pulling faces, putting his hands on his head to make the referee change his mind. I don't like that about Phil Foden. So for him to not perform so far, I'm more than happy to give him stick. Right.
Big up. The Irishman's here with us too today. Welcome, Irishman. How are you doing? Good. Watching this in the background, I guess, watching this Slovakia-England game. So far,
you gotta feel bad for them. So close.
Yeah.
One kick, and you could kind of half see it coming if they kept dropping back, but I thought maybe they'd taken the brunt of it, but that's all it takes. A little bit of magic from Bellingham. He done nothing all game, did he? Then he just does that. That's gotta break your heart. As a Slovak, that's gonna break your heart. But then that other one, yeah, I saw the first half, and then it came back. I was trying to get back in time, and then I just saw like that kind of bit of it. Yeah, that's really heartbreaking for them. It would have obviously been hilarious as well for me if England had got knocked out.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But what was it? 94 minutes? What was it? 94 minutes, something like that. 95. That's pretty tough to take.
Yeah. I was on Goldbridge's stream like in the first half. Before it kicked off, it says I predicted that England would win with a goal in extra time, 118 minutes. I was wrong, like, but we did score in the 95th minute.
Wow.
So that was very much late in injury time. I predicted late in extra time that we'd score to go through. I didn't predict whether that would be 1-0 or 2-1, but I knew it'd be close. Like, in honest, like, I thought we were out. I thought we were definitely out. When I got 82 minutes, say, I'm like, oh no, we're out here. No way we could go back here. When it got to about 82 minutes. Because we weren't coming up, and it didn't look likely. And then Tony come on, and we had them 2 long throws.
Yeah.
They just kept dropping deep and dropping deep and dropping deep. You're asking for, you're basically just you're playing the clock. Like you're saying, we're going to keep dropping deep and dropping deep, and if you only give them one chance, then fine. But if you keep doing that, and there's, you know, you're just hoping that they don't get enough chances to make one count. And if Bellingham hadn't gotten that one, you're out. Bellingham don't connect with that. That's it. You're out.
That's it. You're out. Yep.
Did you see the yellow card Manu got in the first half early on? Did you see that, the yellow card?
No, I didn't see that one.
It was in their box. We were attacking.
I didn't see this.
I mean, he went in. There was like a scramble, and he went in with their player, and there was nothing in it. And their player went over and rolled, and that Turkish ref, I don't know what he'd been smoking in his Turkish pipe beforehand, like, but he gave Manu a yellow. It was like, what's this business here? He's clearly stoned or something, this guy.
A few
really
dodgy decisions.
Give Manu a yellow card there.
Looks like they're they're running out of ideas. I think England ran out of ideas after about 5 minutes in this tournament.
No,
I think they ran out. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think they ran out of ideas before they entered this tournament. To be honest with you.
I didn't like the ref early on. There was 3 yellows for England in quite quick succession.
Yeah.
Or was it 2 or 3? And they didn't get one until like right near the end of the first half. So I wasn't liking that Turkish ref, mate. But he's got better as the game's gone on. I was whinging in the first half that he was a bit like hard on us, but he's got better as the game went on. And he wouldn't have
2 balls on the pitch.
I liked him before the ref, because he wasn't having their time wasting like a few times. Go get up.
They're on the attack. Not the attack, but they've got the ball here. England have done what Slovenia were doing, and they're starting to drop.
Is just sit back. Yeah, it's just sit back. But
that's
he switched on. What's that?
That's what you do when you're winning, unless you're Jurgen Klopp, who never did do that.
Yeah, that's true. Ooh, they let that
go. They're doing what how long is left in this now? I can't see properly because on a timer.
About 6 minutes, I think. 6
stoppages.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, that's 7 now.
Or 7 minutes. About 7 minutes. 7 minutes with stoppage time.
That was close. That was a close. Yeah, it's difficult. Lee, you'll get Switzerland, is it? If you go through, yeah, they'll beat you. They'll beat you, I reckon.
Yeah, on this evidence, if we've made it this hard way to get past Slovakia, I don't see us getting past Switzerland.
One would have to imagine so, wouldn't
one? Tricky proposition, Switzerland. Like, they seemed to Italy, no problem, didn't they?
And that's the supposedly easy side of the draw.
Didn't Switzerland beat France in the last Euros? As I seem to remember.
Solid team. They lack real goal threat. They lack a real goal, like Brillambolo and the other chap they have. Brillambolo is a great tournament player. I usually keep an eye out for him, but just a real. I'd imagine like having watched them, I would say I've seen them a couple of times now. I would say they're they're the next level up from Slovakia, and then a little bit more, but they don't have an out and out striker. They don't have a real goal scorer. So, but they're just as good. They're better than these guys. Super well organized, really good tactically, just like the Austrians are. So sometimes that's enough. Just having all the good players doesn't, it doesn't always work that way.
No, I mean this is what I was thinking. Sitting there watching us going out, as I thought the tournament before Jude got the equaliser. I was sitting there thinking how many times I've seen a good bunch of England players just underachieve. Like, and sometimes it's been the manager, and sometimes it hasn't been the manager. For just whatever reason, it just hasn't worked. And it's a hard one to put your finger on internationally because we're not the only country like that. There's other countries with big pools of talent, whether they be big or small, that never quite do it on the big stage. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, you can't count like France and Spain anymore, but they were like that for years, mate. They never won sod off for years, France and Spain. I think zip.
They would, yeah. The French, they had their golden generation around 2000, like the whole Clairefontaine thing when everybody was buying French. You know, you had to. They won the Euros and won World Cup, and Henry and Elka, Zidane, Vieira, Petit, all the best players in the world seemed to be French. And then about 10 years later, Pep transforms Barcelona, and next thing you know, it's all Xavi, Iniesta, Puyol, Ramos, all the best players in the world are Spanish all of a sudden. They kind of go in that
thing
cycle.
with Holland years ago. Like, it was like they did win Euro 88.
88, yeah.
But
the Van Basten goal.
How they didn't win both World Cups in 74 and 78. Well, I mean, Cruyff and that didn't even go to the World Cup in 78, did they? Because of that. What was it? Some bollocks or other. He didn't go, did he? Johan Cruyff and a couple of other Dutch players to the World Cup in 78. But I mean, how they win the World Cup in 74 and 78, I'll never know. The greatest teams will never win it, mate.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
And every bit as good as some of the best Brazilian teams, but in a slightly different way because they were European. But every bit as brilliant and that. They were some players, them Dutch players, that generation.
It just shows you knockout tournaments. It's irrelevant, really, who you are, how good you are. When sometimes it just comes down to one goal or one whatever.
Both times they lost out to the holders of the tournament, like the hosts.
Well, I was going to say they came up against strong opposition. Or they came up against good teams, but
West Germany in 74, Argentina in 78.
Yeah, well, that World Cup was fixed. That World Cup was properly, most of the World Cups have had something done, but the 78 World Cup was about as dodgy as it gets. Argentina was like a military junta at the time. It was basically like a military dictatorship at the time. So you can imagine, referees were being given some specific instructions. Yeah. If they wanted to see their families again, kind of thing, that was a crazy one. But yeah, it looks like England are gonna scrape this. God, they're not poor to watch.
What minute are you in, Brian?
I am 1:17:48, just nearly 1:18.
Okay, like 20 seconds ahead of me. Okay.
England have in the past at times been a team that can get up. I'm not talking about this particular
Here's a question for you.
As a national side, after they win an important knockout game, can then go on and win a second knockout game. So we could conceivably get to the semis, but Switzerland will be tough. But winning this should give them some, even though we haven't won it well, sometimes that's the best way to win, you know what I mean? It gives confidence, doesn't it? Oh, we didn't play well, but we went through. just see what will happen if we do actually play well and click in the next game. But it's going to be tough against Switzerland, like no doubt of that.
There was a question here for you guys. It's saying, question for the panel, is Xhaka top 5 midfielder this season? He went invincible in the Bundesliga, won the DFB, he won the Super Cup for Germany. Was that DFB Pokal, as I say? And is now in a quarter final with Switzerland for the first time in history. My answer was, I'll just tell you my answer real quick. It says, I said it depends if you are able to measure team accomplishments into the equation, because I know that sometimes I'll say that, or I'll say stats and team accomplishments, and people will be like, oh, well, that has nothing to do with it. Yeah, I can understand why they can say some of that too, because you could be on a good team doesn't necessarily mean that you're a great player. But what's your answer for that, Lee? Do you have one? Do you think he's top 5 midfielder right currently?
Yeah, I think he's been excellent, hasn't he? You could see he was an excellent player when he was at Arsenal, but it's like we were talking about last week, wasn't it? About the amount of good players that come to the Prem, and it does. But I mean, it's not like it didn't happen. He did play well a number of times and was good in the Premier League. It's just like Arsenal replaced him. But yeah, he's a good midfielder. There's no doubt about that. Everyone's known that for a long time. Granit Xhaka's a good midfielder.
It's all or nothing right here. They're putting on 1 minute extra for extra time. Slovakia has the ball into the final third, pushing for something. Oh, you're hoping for a better header if you're Slovakian. Last thing you want to see is Pickford on the ground screaming. It's such an ugly face. Anyway, whoops. Brian, do you have an opinion? We've gone final in that game, by the way, 2-1 final. Looks like England moves on.
I thought. Look, he's never been my favorite player. I didn't really know a huge amount about him. He was always, kind of a highly rated guy. I never really thought at Arsenal they played him in his best position. Sometimes they did, and then he'd look okay. Sometimes they even played him at left back quite a few times for Arsenal, so he got moved around. But I think there's no doubt, he's probably had, without a doubt, the best season he's ever going to have. And he's been instrumental, and we've been lucky enough to watch a bit of Leverkusen, and I've seen some of Switzerland. And against some of the teams the Swiss have been playing, it's obvious how much he stands out. Like, they just give him the ball all the time. He's very like Çalhanoğlu for Turkey, and everything goes through Xhaka for the Swiss. And it's only ever been a matter of his temperament or whether he does it at the highest level all the time. But I mean, like, just as honestly listed out there, I mean, very few players will be able to put down a year-long CV like that, to go invincible, to win a league, to win a double, and then to go deep. Set a record with your country. That it is an absolutely outstanding season for him. I'd say, is he in the top 5 midfielders in the world this season? I don't know, but he's definitely had a probably top 2 or 3 season. Yeah, he's probably a season like in the top 5 best midfielder or best seasons. Yeah, it's hard to top him.
He's got to be Bellingham. Hasn't he, for some of the best performing midfielders of the season? Like,
if Bellingham goes and wins this, and he's won, everything he's won with Madrid, then that might be up there with it, But to go invincible is special.
I prefer to look at players who are playing in lesser teams as well. Like, not that Bayer Leverkusen are a shabby team, but compared to Real Madrid, you know what I mean? I'm looking at it from that point of view with Granit Xhaka. He's gone
Yeah,
back
but
there.
but Lee, if Bellingham wins it,
Side,
but Lee, if Bellingham wins the Euros with England, sure, that's better than winning Bundesliga with Leverkusen. You talk about shabby teams. This England team, if he can drag that that team to a trophy, I give him 2 Ballon d'Ors.
Yeah. There was another. I think there was another question here.
You know what? I never really paid much attention to the Ballon d'Or years ago, and then they did that stupid thing where like it was Ronaldo and Messi every year, and no one else could have it for like about 1,000,000 years. It was the same, and it was like you've ruined it. You've made it like stupid. You know what I mean?
Well,
they
did. They did.
Like,
they did.
Like one of these ones has to have it. There's no other way. You can't be allowed.
Virgil, the year Virgil came in second, he should have won that year. I don't think you can have a better year as a center back. Yeah. And if it's going to be if the voting, I mean, it's all a popularity contest because it's all voting. But I mean, like if it was going to be a situation where like, you know, it's going to either be Messi or CR7, you know, every year as it was.
I always
felt like they got points just for showing up. You know?
Yeah, I felt like it was more run on who makes the most money from computer games and shirts and all that crap, rather than who's the best player. That's how I figured the Ballon d'Or when Messi and Ronaldo always had it, and like Van Dijk couldn't get it. I thought it's more counted on like who sells the most on putting their head on computer games and on bloody children's packed lunch boxes and that, like, and all that rubbish. You know what I mean? The Ronaldo soft drink.
But that kind of goes a little bit of what I was saying too. I mean, VVD had a phenomenal CV that he could have said when he was a part of that Ballon d'Or run, and I mean, for him not to have won it simply because I believe, what was it, the year that Messi won did Messi win the World Cup that year, or what was it?
No, he won Champions League.
What?
Or he won.
No. I said, what did Messi end up winning that year?
He won Copa America.
I'll have to look that up.
The year
he won something that ended up just. Yeah.
You have to win something. You have to win.
Right.
No, otherwise, yeah. But they showed it like.
But they factor in World Cup though, Brian. If you
that's what I'm saying. You have to win something. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you look at what it's the official definition of it is the best player on a winning team. That's how. So basically, the player they have to have won something. And that's how they define it. But God no, it's a popularity contest. It's like the Eurovision. There's someone at my door. One second.
Yeah, sure. Big up, JK, joining us today too. How you doing, JK?
I'm cool, bro. Hope you're cool. Lee.
Yeah, sound Jay. Good to hear your voice, mate.
Nice to hear you, bro.
We were just talking about the. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lee.
The Ballon d'Or being like a popularity contest rather than like
sorry about that.
Who should win it, really. In all those years where it didn't go anywhere between only Ronaldo and Messi, I thought it just got silly. And other people thought that. Many people said they thought the award got silly in that period where it wasn't allowed to go to anyone else. That's what made me say that about packed lunch boxes and the Ronaldo soft drink and stupid things like that. Computer games. That's the sort of things they're looking at. Who's got the biggest, like, worldwide, what's it called when people look at your stuff online? Likes or something. What I think called. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah.
Traffic or something like that.
They call it reach. Like reach.
Yeah, reach.
And that's why, like, when you see...
Okay. How are you? I haven't seen that thumbnail in ages, man. Haven't seen that thumbnail in a while.
How you doing, bro?
All right, man.
Good. Yeah, that's why the younger generation, they support Ronaldo and Messi separately. They don't really support a team. They support Ronaldo. Like, it's just weird. Like, Yeah, that's what like, the younger generations, they're not really into teams. They just love Ronaldo for some reason, like big time.
Okay.
Weird.
So he didn't win. You're right. He didn't win the World Cup that year, but it was 2019 is not a World Cup year anyway, but Barcelona and Argentina forward Lionel Messi has won, blah, blah, blah. Messi was involved in 63 goals in total in the past month for both club and country, including 46 goals and 17 assists as a playmaker as Barca retained their La Liga crown. So he won La Liga.
Yeah.
And that's why he got the
Well,
Ballon
if
d'Or.
you look at it, there's like basically you get the
That's-
captains, agents, all these people, and you can actually look at them afterwards. You can actually go online and see who voted for who, and
Mhm.
it's exactly how you expect. Like, the captain of Man United will vote for whoever is in his team. Like, they won't vote for who they think is the best player. They'll
Mhm.
just like, and you see some of the agents and presidents and some of these people that get votes. It is like I said, it's like the Eurovision, where the Eurovision they used to vote for who they thought had the best song, and over time now basically it's just become the countries from one area vote for the countries from that area and vote against the countries from the other area. It's got nothing to do with the songs.
Isn't that pitiful? Like turned
It's
into
bullshit.
that.
It's so, but yeah, it is. It's non.
Someone different used to win it every year, and then it was like Ronaldo and Messi all the time. It used to be someone different every year because some
Mhm.
different things happened every year. And even if like one player was playing good forever all the time, brilliant, it's like, okay, he's had it now, give it to that other fella. That was just the way it was, the way it was done, like in a fair and like adult manner. Now it turned into this childish dog shit with Ronaldo and Messi, where no one else could have it. It's like, no, it's not them saying it. Bloody the ballot, whoever's in charge of the Ballon d'Or, bloody Charles Aznavour or someone, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, they ruined it with that. They ruined it.
What are you doing, Darrell? Oh God! Oh right, Darrell. I hear. Yeah, I hear what you're saying now. I was a bit worried there for a sec. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he must be having a
I
good
guess
day, is he?
we can talk about that too. That was one of the topics that we were going to go. I was going to go into, or at least bring up for the panel. There's been some talks. If you want to talk about Liverpool, we can talk about England too as well today. I'm open for that as well, about England, and also we do have another game looking to come up in the next 15, 20 minutes, which is the Spain game. But there were some talks out there that we were very, very close to triggering a deal for Gordon. What was funny about this, and just hear me out as I explain some of the details that I've read at least, and have seen as being reported. Apparently, Newcastle is looking to make some deals so that they can, qualify under the PSR rules. And we all knew that coming up, and we all knew that they were going to be definitely hustling to make some moves. One of the names on the books that they were looking to move or possibly move was Gordon. Gordon was evaluated to be £100 million player. That's just outrageous as it is, but
Jesus Christ.
but he was rated as being £100 million player, and he was not only rated at that by Newcastle, he was being shopped at that rate around the league. So they offered him, obviously, he's a Scouser. He grew up as a Liverpool fan, despite him being a Evertonian or playing for Everton. And and he was very close. The offer was apparently that they offered Gordon, but in return, they were asking for Kwanzaa and cash. So I get Newcastle definitely has had a run of success with, getting into the Champions League the year before this. And also, getting new owners that obviously have plenty of money to go into the coffers. But I'll try to put it politely. they are smoking on something. If they thought that we were going to give up Kwanzaa and cash for Gordon, that is mad. I am so that is hilarious, man. Like that's just like, what are you thinking?
I would like, you know, they'd have to give us cash and a lot of it with Gordon to part with Kwanzaa. That's how much I think of Gordon. I told you my dad's an Evertonian, mate. I seen loads of Gordon, like, because my dad lives in the flat above me. He's my neighbour, the old git, like. So I've seen loads of Gordon over the past 5 years before he went to Newcastle, like at Everton, and he just isn't that good a player. That's all there is to it.
Right. JK,
I mean, sorry, I just had Norm with the comment of the night, £100 million for Claire Balding. I'll leave it at
that. Yeah.
That's actually harsh on Claire Balding. She's much better looking than Anthony Gordon. Claire Balding.
That's probably a fact as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, she definitely is.
We'll see, Daryl. I don't know.
Actually, sorry. I mean, she definitely is.
She is. She's a woman. She's better looking like Gordon is, for a man. No doubt about that. Feel sorry being enlightened to him.
Oh, where were they coming at with that though? With Kwanzaa, adding Kwanzaa into the what are they? What like you said? What are they smoking? Like, you need your money. You know, you're a club desperate for money, and you're trying to sell all these players. And like the boys are saying, like they shifted a load of God knows who and whatever. Anderson's a good player actually, but like, okay, you need money. Say to a club like they were, look, this guy is available. Okay, but like, how stupid do you have to be to say, oh, and we want one of your best young prospects?
Yeah.
No, no, get the fuck out of here. Like, you can wait. Yeah. No,
I think that shows you're not serious.
I think it definitely shows you're not.
And it also shows you obviously don't rate us as a club to think that we're just going to give away some of our best young prospects.
Or maybe it was like that actually, and it was that they were going to ask for something so ridiculous that we were never going to say yes to it because they didn't want us to bite it. Maybe they could have been doing something like that. But for them to think that they could just, and by the way, and we'll take that Kwanzaa lad, you know him, you don't need him, we'll have him. No, get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, that's just mad. And the price evaluation was just mad as is. To say 100 million is ridiculous. But basically what they were saying is, give us, like if 40 to 50 is your magic number, as we all have seen it to be, put in Kwanzaa, and that'll be, we'll call it even. Basically.
Yeah, other clubs, I don't like that because other clubs don't get to value our players. We value our players because when you get a deal like that, basically what's happening is, when you think about it, the club is saying, right, we want 100 million for this kid, but we'll take 50 and that guy, which means they're literally deciding the valuation of your player. Again, get the fuck out of here with that shit. We'll decide how much he's worth, not some other club. They were really acting the what now. I think Newcastle with that. I don't think that was serious.
A bit of conflicting information, do you not think, over Gordon? It seems like Newcastle want to offload him, but they're asking a silly amount of money and then linking themselves with one of our brightest young prospects. So it's like, we will be selling him and we'll sell him, but then they're putting like money on that they know no one will pay. Or, if that was real, saying that they wanted Kwanzaa, of course we were never going to do that. It's a bit strange,
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to D. Snyder. Right? I got you. Oh, sorry. Yeah. That someone was saying about a line from a song. What was Twisted Sister? I think their name. What was the name of their band?
Yeah, Dee Snider's lead singer, Twisted Sister.
Twisted Sister, right? Yeah. I Wanna Rock. He's from Philadelphia, though. That's why. What's that? Oh, the Dewsbury Hall thing. Is that what you're reacting to? I was just going to say also, yeah. So apparently, they're according to David Ornstein, Newcastle accepted a bid from Brighton for a winger that we were reported to be interested in, but I didn't really think that there was any real. Every former Feyenoord player is now connected to Liverpool in one way or another. It seems like at one point, at least, it was heavy on that. Now those reports have kind of died down a little bit. But again, according to David Ornstein, Newcastle accepted a bid from Brighton for Minta, and one from Newcastle, and one for Nottingham Forest for Anderson. Brighton have put approximately 33 million, the club fee record, on the table for Minta, who has been given permission to discuss personal terms with the Seagulls. And let me see if I can figure out. And then and Newcastle will be making a profit of a really good profit, actually, considering that they bought the winger for 5.8 million last year. They are selling him now for close to 33 million. That's a pretty nice chunk of change that they're going to be making. And I know that also Elliot Anderson is supposedly on the books as to being someone that they're looking to unload as well, to kind of make up the difference in the hole that they're in. I think if they end up unloading just these two guys that they're talking about unloading, I think that goes against the whole, all the clubs got to sell their big name players and the likes and the sort to to make their club solvent. I mean, these aren't two players that are,
fringe. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, one guy, he's not even played, and he's worth 33 million. He's like mad.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just mad. And you know what it is? It's like when you look at the bigger picture of football, it's going to get worse. Look at the wages certain players are getting. Okay, that's cool, but these transfer fees, like when you look at 100 million for Gordon, come on.
Yeah.
Like, who is making these figures up? And like what Brian just said about Kwanzaa, so they're valuing Kwanzaa as nothing, really. So it's a joke.
Jack Grealish being bought for 100 million was a sort of a thing in the road towards Gordon being allegedly worth 100 million, wasn't it? Like, because Grealish was worth that then. Gordon's about the same level, but maybe not as good as Grealish. I would rather have Grealish than Gordon. And I don't rate either. I wouldn't want either for Liverpool, but if I had to have one, I'd have Grealish.
Yeah.
Gordon, 40 million tops, maximum.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. I mean, in this market, I could see you maybe getting 50 to 60 million, considering that, Elise, I probably put him on the same, terms. It helps that he's English too as well. So, that definitely is a little bit of a bonus, having a homegrown player. So that can help with your needs for, having an expanded roster. But there's no way he's a £100 million player. I put it out there, and I'll let you comment, Irishman. I put it out there that if Newcastle did come to the table and say, hey, we have a £100 million player, I'm surprised that the next name that followed wasn't Bruno G. If you're going to bring a play, why would you bring up Gordon to us if you know that we have a plethora of left wings? Left wings is not our issue. It'd be one thing if you bring up a player that we actually need. We could use a DM. Okay, we could use another DM on this team, I think. But yet, if you're going to do that, why wouldn't you say, okay, yeah, Bruno G is 100 million. Let's talk. I'm still not giving up Kwanzaa and cash for that, but I'm still saying at least let's talk, you know. But there's no way, and I'm sure, like, look, Bruno G and those kinds of players, I'm sure are cool with playing on Newcastle. I know that they do like. I know he's very he's become like a big fan favorite down in Newcastle, but there's only so much that you're going to get when it comes to not playing Champions League football. And it's very interesting too. I'm going to bring up another player. There's a player that Brian and I were very bullish on possibly bringing in. I know Brian put him as when they were playing sporting director. I know Brian brought him in on his list, but apparently De Ligt is possibly thinking about going to Manchester United, which is very, very interesting. And he's willing to go there, even though he's put it out there. He's willing to move, even if they don't have Champions League football. That's telling of the player. What exactly is going on with that? JK is like our Bundesliga aficionado. What is that all about? What do you think that's all about? Oh, JK, you there? Okay. our aficionado is actually rifling through his notes. Do you have a take? Do you have a take on that, Irishman?
Well, it is. It hasn't worked. He went from Ajax to Juve. Didn't really click for. I always thought that was a weird move. So then he goes to Bayern. I think he's, as far as I know, he's fallen out with Tuchel. It sounds like he's fallen out with Tuchel. It's very strange what's going on there. It can't just be about ability.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it has to be something. So if he goes to Juve, it doesn't quite work out, and then he goes to Bayern, not quite, working out. You would have to be a little bit cautious. And to me, what that says is, I know it can be framed as a lack of ambition. I'd almost read that the other way. I think what the kid is saying is that he wants to go somewhere and just get his career back on track and get playing. He's not going to be demanding Champions League. It's just like, I just want to go and it sounds like he really badly wants out of Bayern. And I think that the problem with the coach was a big part of that. But it is, for a guy who was, an £80 million centre half, going to be the next this, the next that, 2 failed moves to big clubs. So it's he got to get his next move right. He does have to do that. And Man United is an interesting choice if that's what your plan is.
Yeah, I mean, it's very...
Sounds good. It sounds like a good thing coming from him, that he wants to get his career, and he's saying, I'm not bothered if I'm not in the Champions League. I just want to get to a good club that I like playing at and play. This sounds good from the guy. This sounds sensible. But who knows what's going to happen.
Well, I mean, it's the Manchester United is something I do enjoy talking about Manchester United when it comes to talking about their woes, at least. And I mean, look, they're looking to possibly bring to whatever's going in Bayern Munich, them going for Jonathan Toe, right? Toa?
Yeah.
Ta, excuse me, Ta. Mm-hmm. And them also obviously having Kim already, Upamecano, having a plethora of center backs talking about trying to go for Gomez possibly as well. I mean, that's just writing on the wall type stuff. And the salary he makes is ridiculous too, by the way. I don't understand the salary he's on. That's absolutely incredible.
United pay that salary for him, if he wanted to go there, and they wanted him.
And Bayern are also targeting some other centre half as well.
Yep, Daryl just said it. Yeah. Daryl just said it. Yeah, Ito from
Ito. Oh, right, yeah.
Yep. So it's like one of those things where it's obvious that the writing's on the wall. I mean, he's not even really getting playing time with the Netherlands either. But I mean, with Manchester United, they also are on the verge and this is why it's like, what a hot dumpster mess they are. They're on the verge of expecting both Sancho and Greenwood for preseason. That is radioactive style hot mess. Like, what are you? And it was supposed to be
they're under contract.
Oh, I get that.
But if nobody buys them at the end of preseason, they have to go back to Man United.
Right.
So they
I'm
have
not disputing that. I mean, they could ask them to.
Well, they can ask them to stay away.
They could to buy out the contract or something like that, right?
Well, no, but if they don't, no, but that's just people showing up for work when they're supposed to show. They're on a contract at Man United. I don't expect Greenwood to. Somebody, I know there was some story in Spain, wasn't there, about his move not falling through, but yeah, I think they will ask him, like you were saying, maybe to take an extra week's holiday. They'll try really hard to sell him. Yeah, they won't want him back at Old Trafford. No way. But you talk about the money De Ligt is on. I mean, people can want Sancho all they want, but I mean, he's not going to be cheap at all. So if Dortmund decide,
and not with that salary too, not with that salary, he's making 300,000 plus.
Yeah. So if Dortmund can't afford that, which I assume they can't, they can't. You know, if Ten Hag is going to have to build a few bridges, or they'll want this will be a thing. Like, this is what you talk about agents. People don't like it, but this is an agent thing. Like, this is like, get that kid sold, get him a deal. You know, work on your client, because we don't want them back.
Right.
Make something happen and bring it.
It's hard when Greenwood has, because of the ongoings of what happened. He's toxic to bring back to England. There's no team in England that's probably going to take him, because that story is going to follow him wherever he goes, regardless if he's, innocent or guilty, and so now you're looking at what? Turkey, maybe Italy. I know Lazio was interested in him, maybe Juventus, Napoli, Marseille apparently was a name that was out there that were possibly interested in his services. But you're also looking at a player where, like, get him sold, but I'm not buying him at what you rate him for. I'm taking him at a healthy discount if you want me to take your
Getafe wanted him for nothing, I think, basically. I think Getafe basically just said he's toxic, like exactly what you were just saying. They were like, look, we'll take him off your hands. And you were like, 20 million. They're like, no, we were saying, like, we'll take him off your hands. We're not offering to buy this player.
That's why I don't think they'd be getting much of a fee, if any fee, for him. But United squad, I looked at it last summer and I thought with the right amount of tinkering, they could have a half decent side. But he brought the wrong players again, didn't he? Seemingly, like, was it? Let's see. Who did United buy last summer? They bought Amrabat. They bought Rasmus. They bought. With Varane already in one season, wasn't he?
Yeah, they signed him the same year they bought Sancho. Varane has just left. Varane's contract has just expired. He's gone. Who did they bring in last year? They brought in Højlund, like you're saying, about Amrabat. Can't really think of anything else they did. Really, I can't think of much.
Yeah, he didn't really buy anyone else, did he, that much? All the other players were already there. But
it's hot mess. I know that in the chat they were speaking on the
Mount. Yes, Mount. Mason Mount.
Mason Mount. Wow, what a bullet was dodged by that deal too, by the way.
Yeah,
like, what's happened to that guy? You know what I mean?
He's fallen off.
He's done. He's done. he should be in this England team. Realistically, you know what I mean? He was at that
Yeah.
level where he was an England regular. He's nowhere to be
easily
seen. He's like a Dele Alli and him.
Oh, that's a great analogy.
You know,
it's a great analogy. Yeah.
Them two guys like were the future of England. Both of them, boom. And that's what I want about pressure. The media and sports channels put on the players. You know, people think football's easy, and there's a lot of pressure, and a lot of people can't handle it. And that's why people like Mount, Dele Alli have sort of fell off the rails. You know, maybe Trent a little bit as well. You know, he's been playing football non-stop as well, so he's not even getting a game for England. Trent is not even getting a game for England. You know, so what's that all about?
Yeah, look where Mount was with Chelsea just a few seasons ago, like his form and how well he was playing, and when Chelsea was still a half-decent team. I mean, he won the Champions League.
He was their player of the season.
Yeah. JK, I think maybe they must have him up there trying to fix that roof or something. That's why we haven't seen him. They brought him in. He said, "Go up there and fix that roof." He's been up there
the best waterfall. The best waterfall in England.
In Manchester.
I know Darryl is saying that. And I maintained this at the time, so I won't contradict myself, and I maintain it to this day. I didn't want us to sign Mason Mount because he's just got one of those faces, especially when he tries to grow a mustache. So yeah, and he plays for Chelsea, and he plays for. So I didn't want him, but I always maintained that he would be a perfect Klopp midfielder. I thought he could have replaced Henderson in terms of energy, box to box, like you said, Lee. That season he had at Chelsea, he scored 11 goals and made 12 assists. You know, as a number 8, a Harvey Elliott type of player. I always maintained that he is take the name off the player, he is the perfect Klopp profile. And I thought he would have been brilliant for us, just like I think potentially Timo Werner would have been brilliant for us. But you just never know. But it's just, again, I didn't want us to sign him because of everything I mentioned before. But I do maintain that if he signed for us and stayed fit, he would have been just really good. He would have been. I wouldn't have enjoyed it. I wouldn't like having to say it, but Klopp would have looked at him and went, "Yeah, that's my kind of player." That's just what I think. Anyway.
Wouldn't he? All the attributes to be
energy, running for days. Talk about hard work, running for days, but he had that quality at the end. He could finish, he could pass, but again, I just didn't want to sign him. But I could see the logic. At the time, I could see the logic to it, and I would have taken him over Henderson.
Would have saved his career if he did that. If he came to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would have saved his career. He would be playing for England today. He would have. No problem.
Yeah, but that goes to show you why, sometimes, you could take the money. You feel like, oh, I'm going to go for the money. And then you watch your career just take a nosedive.
I think they pushed him out.
The coach doesn't fit. The organization isn't the right organization. Go ahead. You're saying?
No, I'm sorry. I was just thinking, I think they kind of pushed him out, though, didn't? Because he's one of them pure profit lads. They're trying to push out Gallagher, and they're trying to push out Chalobah.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure, because that was what was so weird about it, right? I got that he didn't come to us, but I just thought it was wait, what? Man United? Why has he gone to Man? It was no, that's just weird. Why have you done that? But I think there was definitely a lot of Chelsea trying to balance the books, him, all these things. That's what they want to sell.
Absolutely.
And he's big money, 60 million quid.
60 million is a lot.
What's the news, Darryl?
It's a lot. And he's got some breaking news. Okay.
Yeah, Darryl says there's some breaking news. What's the news?
About Chelsea. So I know Chelsea has made Darryl throwing in his wish list there. I know that Chelsea have finalized a deal with
weddingvenue.com.
Yeah.
Keenan Keegan
No,
Dewsbury Hall.
on Kieran Dewsbury Hall. Yeah, exactly. And it's an interesting deal. I know that they were also in the hunt for Archie Gray at Leeds or with Leeds, and they didn't pull the. I guess they haven't pulled the trigger on that one, or if it's starting to like kind of, simmer at the moment. I'm not certain, but it is kind of interesting to see Chelsea still making moves. It's one of those things where, like, okay, it's interesting that they're even able to make moves, basically, considering that that they wanted to. Go ahead. You're saying?
No, I was agreeing with you there.
No.
Go on, you carry on. I was just agreeing.
Okay, agreeing with you. Oh, yeah. So I was just saying that it's interesting because I know that they were going to go in for Archie Gray. It was a $35 million deal. It was apparently about to be a done deal, one of those here we go moments. But apparently it's like that has now kind of like fizzled out a little bit.
Are you thinking about maybe Brentford?
Dewsbury Hall is still a player, a good player. Again, it's interesting. I guess this is like basically, I guess Leicester. We probably could have used Ant on this one for today, but it seems like it's just another case where Leicester is preparing themselves for the Premier League, for the possible point deduction that they're going to have to face and the likes, because I know that Leicester is going to be sanctioned, possibly, I believe, right? They are. That's definitely going to happen, right? Yeah, and they're going to have to make some moves, obviously.
That's for older stuff. They can't sell players this summer, kind of thing, yet, because it's for stuff that happened before. So yeah, they're getting done, basically. Yeah.
And there has been basically what the Premier League just did recently too was they sent out a letter to all the teams in the Prem and basically said, here's your reminder, of what the rules are, because a lot of deals are starting to be made, you know what I mean? And they're just like, let's just make sure you understand this so there's no peeping and hollering when the Prem comes back and says you didn't do this right. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of moves get made.
Well, just with the Archie Gray one, that was Brentford. The deal collapsed. He was going to Brentford, and a last minute collapse for whatever reason. And it was, I heard then that Tottenham were trying to sign him up.
Yeah.
But I was surprised that Brentford were getting that, because Arndt was talking about him the other night, and I was asking about the top players in the Championship last season, and he was saying for him Archie Gray was one of them. And I thought, okay, I've heard his name mentioned. I know plenty about him in terms of his lineage, his dad and his granddad. But it was like, wow, he's going to Brentford for 35 million. It's like, that just shows you teams like Brentford. I know it's collapsed, but teams like Brentford can go around spending 35 million quid on an Archie Gray, a Championship player, albeit a good one. I mean, half the teams in Spain and Italy combined couldn't spend 35 million quid on a player. Brentford can do it in England. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy.
Oh, and I'm sure Leeds would definitely love if they could get 35 million for Gray. That's a phenomenal bit of business. I mean, despite he is a talented player, promising.
They didn't get promotion. Yes, especially as they didn't get promoted, like they would have been kind of banking on the premise. So they're going to they'll have to sell one of the gems.
Yeah. There are some other interesting news out there. Apparently, Victor Gyökeres, right? Gyökeres is a possible addition to Arsenal. That's what they're trying to work out. They're apparently trying to work that out right now. I'm interested to see what happens with a lot of these deals once Euros comes to a close. I know that some of these deals obviously are getting made. It's a little bit easier when the team is knocked out, obviously, because now the player's probably not sticking around Germany. He's probably back home once their team does get the exit. But is there any name out there that you've warmed to because because of all the speculation? Is there any name out there, Lee, that you've warmed to and would be anxious and excited to see as a Liverpool player?
Any one single name that I'm really anxious to see as a Liverpool player? No, not really one standout name. It's just it could be anyone for me. I'm just hoping we get the right player or the right players. I mean, there's a few players that I like, but I still like Palina at Fulham. If we were to buy a defensive midfielder and he was available for a fee that wasn't ridiculous, because he was going to go to Bayern, wasn't he? And then it fell through. And he's getting on in years now, but he's not getting on in years so much that he wouldn't be a good signing still in the Prem, was he? If we had him. So I do like him from what I've seen of him in the Prem and that, and think he could be good. No, I haven't really got a specific name in mind that I really, really want. I'm just hoping that whoever we get is good and fits the squad and fits the team.
Mm-hmm. How about for you, JK? Is there any name that's circulating in the transfer rumors for Liverpool that you would be excited, or you're all in on us trying to bring in?
There's a guy for Colombia, Richard Rios, the DM. He's pretty sort of. He's up. Like, the name just being mentioned that we should go after. We need a DM. Have done since Fabinho sort of fell off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's one guy. There's not a lot of DMs about as well. That's the thing. But that's one guy I would be happy to go for. Even took many from Real Madrid. Like, if he's not going to get game time, go for him.
Yeah. Daryl thinks that you want Thiago back. I told him I'm with you. I'll take Thiago back. Why not? Irishman, is there any name out there that you have in your radar from the names that you occasionally come across in the rumor?
Well, if we're talking about maybe someone that I didn't already know about who's popped up this summer, and I've been like, "Ooh, who's this guy?" kind of thing. Because you have the usual suspects, but yeah, kind of like Lee. There's no one out there that has made me kind of go say, like, with classic transfers in the past, where it's like, that better be true.
Mm-hmm.
That better, like Calafiore, all these people that nobody had ever heard of 5 minutes ago, or I hadn't anyway, no disrespect to anybody else, just exaggerating for effect, but most people, I'd never heard them talk about Calafiore, talk about certain players, and okay, they don't really excite me. A lot of people
warmed up real quick to him. I know, I've seen online.
People do. They do warm up very, very quick. Like, and I don't know enough about these guys, but I
don't know enough about Calafiore because I haven't seen a lot of his play other than what we've seen with Italy. But
yeah, no, there's nobody that's basically, for me, I think what the way to answer that would be is, have we been linked with anybody who's made me go, oh, I really hope we're in for him. I really hope that's not a bullshit one.
That's my question.
Yeah, there hasn't really been one of those yet. Like, if there was if there was a story to come out tomorrow that said we were trying to get Arda Güler, then that would be your man for me, because that's what I need to see this summer. I need to see, like JK is right, we need to take care of the housekeeping, which is for me is centre half and DM. but I want to see us just go out there and just do something for the fans in terms of transfers. Just go out there and do something, because it's a new regime, and it's probably good publicity as well. Take a bit of pressure off the manager. It's like, here, we've gone and bought Sancho, we've gone and bought Vinny Jr., we've gone and bought that guy. So I'd love to see that summer. This summer. So hopefully a rumor like that will pop up. But Goulier, if I know it's not going to happen, but if we were to be linked with a player like him or a Lamal or something like that, that's what I want to see. I'm waiting for that one.
Yeah, I had him in my picks too. I had Goulier in my little. If I was sporting director, he was one of my picks that I wanted to like scoop up while his
Ederson. Sorry, that's the guy. Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But Ederson, that's the other guy who I was trying to think of that I'd never heard anyone talk about until 5 minutes ago. He was the other guy. Sorry, Ederson.
Yeah, or maybe even like Coop Miners, or right? He was another guy that was heavily linked to us. That no one, let's be honest, no one other than when they played against us in Europa had really ever even heard of play, or weren't really, monitoring his play because he's some exceptional player. I had my names that I would have, that I personally, I know that is Daryl. That is Daryl's boy, by the way. The names I had on the list. I mean, Rodrigo, that's a different story. That was probably never ever going to happen. But João Neves was a name that I was very interested in when we started to get linked to him, because that is a DM. I know that isn't the type of DM destroyer that a lot of people are looking to have, but he is a player that can play DM. I think that maybe we don't go for João Neves because we have a Bišetic, and because they're very similar types of player, a very similar type of defensive midfielder at least. And the second player is a player that I think that we would all be on board for. And I think if we were to sign him, I'd like to see some apologies from some of the people in the chat. But if we were to get Musiala, I think that would basically turn heads. There was a question in the chat that had, let me pull it up too. It was basically rating Musiala versus someone. I'm going to bring that up. That was a very interesting question.
If he was available, he's the kind of flair, kind of standout talent that I'm talking about. Nico Williams, Musiala, Goulier. One of these kind of, you need to get the basics right, but also you need to remember what football is about as well. Is bringing in these star talents every night just to light it up and just to show we are still capable of bringing in these kind of people. Yeah, and I think we should be. Like, the only thing with Musiala is like you probably got to remortgage Anfield or something. But anyway,
it's not gonna be cheap. It's not gonna be cheap. There was a rating that it says, and this is by honesty. He said in his opinion he believes that Jude is good, but he says that Musiala is better. He just doesn't get the PR. You think that if you had to if it was, if we can hop in the DeLorean and go back before the Jude deal happened, and let's say Musiala is at the moment interested in parting ways with this club, would you have taken Musiala over Jude, or would you have taken Jude over Musiala? Irish, we'll go clockwise actually. Irishman, would you have taken Jude over Musiala or vice versa?
Just a little. I don't want to be pedantic, but they're a little bit too different in terms of what they do. Mm-hmm. But obviously, Christ, if we gotten both of them when they were 16.
Oh yeah,
before, you know what I mean. But
that'd be fantastic.
I would go. Okay, so if you're going back to do it, who would we get then?
Oh man, that's killing me. Not leaving Real Madrid.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That was a killer. That one is a killer. I just about go with Musiala because I'm a sucker for that kind of player. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Bellingham, yeah, that's a horrible that's a horrible 50-50, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was Musiala or Bellingham?
I mean, we can. I can ask another variant into the equation, but I'll say you said Musiala, right? How about for you, JK?
For me, Bellingham straight away.
Straight away.
The guy's the lead. Yeah, he's a leader.
Is it
Should have
because
seen him in that
it's
England
not
game.
because of the bicycle kick. I get it.
The overhead kicks. That's why I did it for me. But
Yeah.
in general, like the way he was more of a captain than Kane in that game. So for me, at his age, doing that.
That I agree.
Quality.
He's more of a leader, I think, on the pitch.
Yeah.
At that
But
moment.
Musiala for me, I rate him big time. What a player.
Yeah, what a player.
What
Imagine
a player
both
he
of
is.
them in your team. Imagine both of them
Oh.
line up for Liverpool, JK. Jesus.
Well,
So
yeah,
we have
them
one
two in the
Musiala,
club.
one Jude, one Musiala vote. Lee, you could break the tiebreaker here. Who are you going for, Jude or Musiala?
It is tough, that. I'll go for Musiala.
Yay. Suck on it, JK. No, but you can.
Yeah, but 12 man has to have a vote. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And the chat can break the tie then.
The chat can break it. Yeah, Daryl's going Musiala.
They both are elite though because I think they play in different positions, and you're talking about probably two of the best in the world right now in those positions.
Yeah.
And if England had, as we talked about the other, if England had just played their cards right, Musiala would be wearing an England jersey, not an Army jersey.
Yeah, he could have been.
He played for them under 12, under 14, under 16, under 17, under 18. Played all the way up with England, and they didn't pull the trigger on him. His family moved back to Germany, and the Germans were like, "You ain't been capped by England. Get that guy a bloody cap and get it on him now. You're German now, mate. You're German now."
Yeah,
locked him down, and they were all like, Gareth Southgate was like, "Yeah, he's good. I saw him a couple of years ago in an under 23s or in an under 18s, and he was ripping it up with Bayern at this stage. He should be playing for England." Massive overestimation by Gareth Southgate.
Daryl's evaluation on, I would not go as far as to say that Bellingham has had an awful tournament. I mean, he had the game-winning goal for England early, right, in this tournament.
He was good in the first game, and he scored in the first game. Yeah, he was good in that game.
I think England was just dreadful all over the pitch, top to bottom, in that second game. And then in this game right here, he just bailed them out once again. I mean, like, to say that you have the two of the biggest goals in this tournament, basically for England, says that's saying a lot, considering you're on a team with Foden and Harry Kane and all these big name players. But
yeah, he's judged now because he's at Madrid, and he's a big name with Madrid, so he's judged in that way. Now it's going to be hard for him.
Mm-hmm.
What he's done so far hasn't really inspired people. Or what do you have to do? What is enough for players? That's just the way football is, unfortunately. Once you go to a big team like Real Madrid and you're a big name there and they're winning the Champions League and that, people expect a lot then, and they don't understand that it doesn't necessarily translate into international football. Some
it doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, we're seeing a lot of. I mean, I know a lot of people have had the pushback of every time you say, "Oh, well, this player is playing well internationally." Oh, well, international is a different game than club. I get that. We all get that, but it's still you're going out there and kicking the ball. It's still the same. It's the end result is still the same. It's not like we're going on some drastic different changes in rules that that we're playing on trampolines rather or something like that.
I've been quite harsh on Foden because Foden had a good season, in the Premier League, and I watched him have a good season. I've been quite hard on him.
That's interesting.
A little bit from him in an England shirt. I was expecting him to not lead, but stand out a bit more and be like a bit more of a live wire, like sparking things off. But he didn't do anything. For me, he did nothing apart from stray offside when he should have stayed onside.
Is it? I know. With I know Darrow, and I see Marion saying that they think that he's overrated. I saw Bernie give a vote for Jude. I was going to give a vote for Jude under the pretense that the difference I can see, the one at least difference I can see, Musiala has played well. I'm not saying he hasn't played well for Germany. I'm not saying he's a phenomenal player for Bayern as well. But I don't know if for Jude, he is looked at as being, they look at him and say, lead us, if necessary, put us on your back. He's done it for Real Madrid a couple of times. He's definitely, as I just mentioned, has done it for England. I know Musiala has the opportunities or can has the talent level to do that himself for Germany or even for Bayern, but I don't think he does it as frequent or is look towards to do it as frequent as Jude. There's a lot. I think the amount of, I don't want to say pressure, but the amount of responsibility that is placed on Musiala and Jude, I think, are two different levels. Am I wrong in saying that, you think?
Well, but the question was, who would we have bought?
Oh, I get no. Yeah, this is separate. This is separate from the question. I was just reacting to the chat. The chat was saying, to the chat's reaction.
No, Bellingham is under. Yeah, I think Kane is the one that's expected to score the goals. Bellingham is the new great white hope, the one that's going, the thing that's carried into the future. He is the one that's expected to perform. Yeah, I don't think they quite expect him to carry the team yet. I think he's starting to kind of do that on his own a little bit. He has been poor in the middle game. He was poor tonight. He did nothing until he scored a goal. I know he scored a goal, and they've all been poor. So I understand those because England have all been bad, and he's part of it. That was their first shot on target. His goal was England's first shot on target tonight. So, yeah, but I think now that the age Harry Kane is at, unless someone, and they showed you tonight, Watkins, Ivan Toney, good players, but not elite. So once Harry Kane gets a little bit older, definitely Jude Bellingham is going to be expected to win midfield battles, create and score goals, and do everything for England. That's definitely coming for him. That is coming, 100%.
Yeah,
I don't doubt that for a second. Right now, is still a lot of it is kind of on Harry Kane, and Foden is getting some stick. No doubt about it. He is getting some stick. But if you take Harry Kane out of that team, without a doubt, Bellingham then becomes, okay, well, you do everything then. You go and be that guy because he's gone and shown it. So, and that's bad enough for I just think for anybody to play under that pressure at Real Madrid is hard enough. To do it for a country like England, to put it mildly, he's not a Harry Kane. He's different to Harry Kane. To do the pressure that Lee will tell you, the media and the press in England are just, they're so bad, it's horrific. So for a kid like him, I don't envy him being the best for England, and having to be that guy every week for Real Madrid.
Every week.
That's a lot of fucking pressure, man. That's
you have the weight vest on you, like a couple extra stones in it.
Flamboyant and skillful England internationals over the years that have got so much stick in the press, when the form fluctuated and that. But the stuff Gascoigne went through was ridiculous. I think a lot of it was very snobbish with Gascoigne, because he has a very working class voice and that, and he was very rough around the edges. Poor Gascoigne, there was no frills to him. That they were very snobbish about him, laughing at him. You know what I mean? Look at this northern thing. He can hardly even string two words together. Was the sort of attitude towards Gascoigne.
He was a clown.
Impressed,
Gascoigne was a clown. No, there's no other way. They use Gascoigne as literally a clown. to entertain and be funny and laugh at and go, oh, look at him, he's crying now and he's sad and now he's made a mistake. Yeah, they did. They treated Gascoigne like he was some kind of child or something. It was.
We have a score update 1-1. Rodri has scored. He's definitely made up for his untimely exit or his suspension. I can say that because I know I had him on my fantasy team, and because of his suspension, I had to basically find another player. I didn't put him back on, but
Bernie is right, by the way. Bernie is 100% correct. I didn't want to say it earlier on, but that is literally the number one problem with Foden, and it's not even
his haircut.
It's not even close. It's not. It's like it's that's in its own list basically of that haircut is shocking.
Yeah. You know, I was gonna say, you know what's interesting? You guys didn't. You said there were some names. You didn't say really. There wasn't really any names out there that you were like, that made me turn my head when I heard that.
If the Nico Williams one was true, if we did that I'd call that one. If that one had been,
you rated him like that? Okay.
I mean, that's the one that would have kind of got my juices flowing, as it were. Like DMs,
right.
And all that, but
I was gonna say why I brought that up though is because a player that we have seen play and you have been able some people do rate him at least is the Ryan Ait-Nouri. You know, that was something of a rumor that we possibly might be signing the young fullback to a deal. That didn't interest you guys? That wasn't something that was high on your list?
He's a good player, yeah.
I rate him, but I don't think we'd be in the market for a left back. I think Slot will probably go with Robbo and Tsimikas
If Tsimikas leaves, I think all bets are off on that. But I agree. I can understand what you're saying.
Yeah, unless maybe if he does leave, then we'd replace him with another number 2. But I think Slot will probably stay with them. I think if you're looking to spend the money in other positions, probably only.
I think Tsimikas has value on the market. I think he does. I give
wasn't he only a 10 million purchase?
Yeah, he was 10 million. I'm gonna look on transfer market real quick to see what his value was.
Ben Godfrey to Atlanta for 10.8 million.
11.5, I think.
Mm-hmm. My dad told me today, I went upstairs to talk to my dad, and he said, we sold Ben Gordon. I thought Ben Gordon was promising as well. He was not a bad player as a centre-half, and he has been capped for England.
Ben Godfrey.
Ben Godfrey, what did I say? Ben Gordon.
Ben Gordon. Yeah. I was gonna say he plays for the Chicago, or used to at least play for the Chicago Bulls or something. But all right,
he's around the corner. Yeah.
Former Norwich and Everton player has gone to Atalanta. Ben Godfrey.
No, Haylor. Just answer Haylor's question. He said, "Is haircut a big thing in England?" I mean, dude. A bad haircut is a worldwide thing. It's a bad haircut is a bad haircut. It's got nothing to do with where you live. We can all see one. But I kind of respect the it's a horrible haircut, but I respect why he does it because it's a no frills. I'm working class. This is how all my friends cut your hair short, crop it close, none of this fancy crap. That's kind of the whole look, but it's sometimes you do look and go, dude, you're earning about 20 million quid a year. You could try something different once in a while.
Try something different.
Because, and it's the world's most basic. Lee will tell you, I'm from working class council estate area as well. There's those barbers that do 50 of those kids a day. They just go in, they just use a razor and that's it. They can do 50 of them in a day. For £2. He's probably paying 500 quid a pop to get that done. He's getting that done by a top quality barber.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing as well. I just think, but I respect him for. It's not nice, but I respect him for sticking to it.
Simicast is rated at 22 million euros right now on Transfer Market. We bought him for 13 million euros in 2020. Yeah. So
we got our money back. We got our money back on it.
If we were to get a deal for him, I would assume it would probably be around like 20-25 million, and that'd be a nice bit of business. 10 million, net profit on that, I guess you say.
Your man Nuri though. Your man Nuri, he's like, he ain't no defender, by the way. He's basically a wing back.
Right.
Yeah.
He's brilliant going forward. He's really good going forward. But if people think Trent can't defend, wait till you see this guy. You know, he's an attacker.
Yeah.
More than that. I'd like to see him in the squad because he's great. Like, you know, at attacking and stuff. But yeah, if you want to bring in a solid defender, no, he's not what you want.
Well, Wolves have generally played 3 at the back since he's been there.
Exactly.
He's played 3 centre halves and wing back since he's been there.
And he's played left wing for them loads. Like, yeah, he really is like a old school. Yeah, he's not someone that is a defender that can go forward. He's an attacker that basically plays left back. That's it, I suppose.
I wouldn't fancy him in a flat back 4, to be honest.
No,
like,
exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. So Simicast, if he were, I think when we did our sporting director thing, I think all of us had Simicast as one of the expenditures that we ended up letting go.
Oh yeah, everybody sold him. Yeah, everyone sold him. I remember that. Yeah, everyone sold him.
Yeah. And it's not that I don't rate Simicast. I think Simicast is a good player. It's not that I don't think that he's No,
it wasn't that. It was just sport directors. I think, and we all went around.
You got to make money somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and we all landed around the 18 million mark. 18, 20. We'll make a profit on him, but I wouldn't expect a huge one. But definitely, it's money in, money out, money in, money out. You got to turn the wheels. You got to grease the wheels, and he's been here a while. He probably expect a new challenge. Brilliant, go see it. 20 million in, bang, new guy.
Yeah,
8 million on him.
That's why I say
12 million in the kitty.
Yeah, even though Simicast is he is a good locker room person. Sometimes does some weird locker room stuff, or it does some weird antics. I know that the celebration in the Caribou Cup with Virgil van Dijk was kind of weird, but it was they looked like Virgil was like giving birth or something like that. I don't know what he was doing with that, but anyway, we'll move past that and just say that Simicast is a unique comedy experience, I think, for our comedy levity for the locker room. I know he's really good friends also with Mo as well. Ever since Lovren moved off the team, I think Simicast has become somewhat more of Mo's best buddy on the squad there.
Yeah, well, I'm just disappointed that the people at the club didn't make more out of. Now, it would have been cringe, but make more out of the Darwin and Simicast thing. They should have done more on that, because like there were points. I've watched multiple games where I've seen commentators going, Darwin Núñez in the left back position for some reason, or calling Darwin Núñez, or it's like no, that's Simicast.
Yeah,
this is like, or the amount of Simicast up on no, that's Núñez.
Is it because they both have a man bun or something?
When they both had they very similar face from afar.
Yeah,
and the exact same haircut. The amount of times commentators were getting them confused
because
they played on the same side.
Was weird. I remember. You guys remember this year when Simicast came in? He was playing left wing, and they had and Diaz was playing left back. That was I remember when we had that little setup. I don't know if it was kind of wild. We were trying to adjust and move on the fly there, but there was a game when when
I
that
remember the
actually,
game you're talking about. Yeah, well, he dropped in for a while. Yeah,
yeah.
he dropped as in he dropped in. But yeah, we were trying to do. I remember the game you're talking about. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, we were changing it up, and it was like
Barney's Simicast, like he's good. He's good attacking left back, like, and he can play advanced. Like left wing, like you can tell he's played there, like as well as
as
playing like.
as a kid. Yeah, definitely he was a winger as a kid, no doubt about it.
Mm,
Great cross on
mm.
him. Great cross on him.
So there should be some. There's going to be some players leaving, some players coming in. I think is going to definitely happen. Look, this PSR stuff definitely has a lot of teams, maneuvering certainly kind of maneuvering with some weird settings going on with some of these teams. I know that Douglas Luiz is now. It's been confirmed that he's now going to Italy. I don't know if his girlfriend or if they're even girlfriend boyfriend anymore, at least, but I don't know if she is going as well with him to the ladies team. But
leave Birmingham to go to live in Turin. Are you mad? Are you Birmingham, the world's most beautiful? JK will tell you, Birmingham, beautiful place to live.
That's the spot.
Italy has nothing on Birmingham.
All right.
Yeah,
Peaky
lovely
Blinders.
Yeah, I'm sure she will. I'm sure she will. She'll probably, get some simple. But he's that's coming as a fee now, right? Because the first ones I was seeing was that there were like a lot of players involved. But now I just saw a story today just saying for 47 million.
Yeah.
Is that just a straight cash, or have
I
they
think it's
actually
just a straight.
taken?
That's why I'm not
Yeah.
certain if she's going with or not. I don't know if that part of the deal. I don't know if that.
No, but they were talking about taking players from Juve. I mean, forget that. I mean, It was at the start. It was like Newcastle or Aston Villa didn't even get a fee. They were going to get like 10 million quid and 2 players. It was going to be your man Weston McKennie, wasn't? Then that fell out or fell through.
Yeah.
So have they just received?
Weston McKennie is, I think, going to make a different move. He's gonna. I think he's gonna fight. He's gonna fight to stay in Europe, I believe. I think he would like to stay in Europe. But I also know that there's some MLS teams that are interested in bringing back some of the American talent that is abroad and bringing it back to fortify the MLS and allow for us to have like some really big name players in the MLS once again. There is talks about us going for another German player. There's talks about us going for a player that we were interested before he made his venture to Germany. But he's a new name that I've seen recirculate, and that is Coman. Kingsley Coman, as being someone that is on our radar. Would you be interested in a Coman? Does that really get you pique up your interest? Lee, do you like Kingsley?
If we had the chance, I don't see why not. He's a good player, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't.
It doesn't sound like it's really
welcome him, yeah, for sure.
He's not starting for France at the moment, but for me, quality player. Quality.
I think Musiala takes the shine away from him, but he's a good player, Kingsley.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't think he has a future really at Bayern. Bayern's in a crazy state right now where they're trying to recenter themselves as the kingmakers in Germany, and there's some players that just don't have an idea as to where they fit in. So yeah, it's very interesting to see what happening with him. Kingsley Coman, at least. I think he's
What is he, 28 now?
He had a good World
28.
Cup. I don't know if he's played that great. Yeah, go ahead. At Bayern. Go ahead, Brian.
No, I'm just saying, was he 28 now? He's at that kind. That's the only thing with him for me. I think is his age.
Oh,
like
I
him
can find
3
out for
years
you.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's actually older. He's one of those guys that's actually way old. Like, and Leroy Sané is also there. Musiala, they've got there. So I'm sure.
Sané's another name that's been mentioned, not for us. Sané's been mentioned on the blocks too. You're right.
Yeah, I think Coleman's
He's been actually rumored to possibly be an Arsenal prospect, and he is
both
28.
great wingers.
You are right. He's
yeah, they're both great wingers. You know, they are really direct. Like Coleman is kind of like Vinny Jr. 5 years ago. He was that guy. Leroy Sané at City never really got to be like the player every single week would be starting every week, but would come in. I was always terrified when he came on. I hated him playing against us. He's just rapid. So something like that, if that's what you want. I just think, Coleman when he's 25, at this age, giving him a 4-year contract till he's 32, it's like, nah, dang, I wish you were a bit younger. You know, pause. You know, sorry, but you know,
right.
Like with Van Dijk, I wish we'd signed Van Dijk when he was 24, not 27. You know, we got an extra 3 years at him at his peak.
3-4 more years of Van Dijk.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So it's the position I want to sign in. Adds the profile. Yeah, a quick attack and proven almost quality European winger, wide man. Yeah, a Vinny, a Sané, Musiala. That's the type of guy. Someone who can play Sané, that kind of thing. So, but Coleman. A strange career. Someone who's basically, I think Coleman, at one point in his career, I think he's he's got a record for like being the youngest player to win everything, or something stupid like Kingsley Coman has literally won everything. But in 10 years' time, you could say Kingsley Coman to someone, and I guarantee he won't be remembered because he's had such an under the radar career.
Yeah,
he's not a famous player, but he's won everything with some of the biggest clubs. It's weird. He should be a huge name, kind of, but for whatever reason, he's just kind of not.
Yeah, he's just not. It's again, these talks are so interesting. I know that Newcastle just got out of financial problems, or apparently reportedly gotten close, if not have gotten out of their financial issues. But what's interesting is Real Madrid president Perez has informed Arsenal that it will cost 25 million euros to sign Andre Lunin, actually. And on the other end of it, with Barcelona, their rival team, Man City and Newcastle have been registered as an interested party for signing Barcelona center back Ronald Araujo, who is hesitating to sign a new contract at Camp Nou. Excuse me. He could be sold for a fee of £100 million. I don't understand how Newcastle is even mentioned in this conversation. If like you're sitting there trying to sell players, some of your best players, to make room, or to make room to fall into the PSR, confines, and you're talking about trying to bring the £100 million player. Tell me how that works. How's that possible there?
The gift of amortization.
I guess so.
The gift of amortization. So. Yeah, like if you sign him you sign him an £80 million player on a 10-year deal, he only costs you £8 million the first year. That's all it costs you. So you sign Elliot Anderson, who cost him nothing. This other lad who cost him nothing. and this other lad that cost him a few million quid for 60, then you've made 60 this year. So you can sell those 3 kids, you bring in a guy, and you're still on a £52 million profit, even though you bought 100. So that is the gift of amortization. But I think it's Chelsea. They dropped it now to 6, isn't it? Because it was Chelsea. I think it's now 6 is the longest deal you can give somebody.
Right.
Over 21. Right. So you can only amortize over 6 years now. So that's what Chelsea were doing with these long contracts. So that's why Mudryk only cost them basically about 9 million quid in the first year on their books. But you said that's why they want to sell the Mounts and the Gallagher, is because pure profit straight in your books in year 1, all the money down. That's how they juggle these numbers, which I'm fine with it. I'm cool with it. I have no problem with it. I like it allows you to operate. I mean, if we can do it, let's go out and do it. I mean, let's use it to our advantage. If, like as they say, if everybody else is doing it, why can't we?
Exactly. That's the thing about it, is let's use it to our advantage. I get that there's situations that other teams are crying, oh, this and that about the PSR rules. Well, just get your books in order and keep them and keep yourself right, and you won't have to be in this place, And if it means you got to sell to your rich neighbors, then that's what's going to have to happen, I guess. But I know that the books are trying to be maintained here, and it's why I know Chelsea have reportedly dropped out of the running for Isaac. They were actually Newcastle was looking for, again, 100. I don't know if Newcastle thinks every player on their team is rated 100 million, apparently. But they had Isaac as a £100 million player that they were looking at doing.
No, they said they wanted a world record fee for Isaac. They said they weren't going to sell Isaac without a world record fee, which is 198 million for Neymar. That's stupid. Stop being silly.
Yeah.
It's the way it's got. Isn't it? They just give ridiculous valuations to put people off. You know what I mean?
But it's why, Lee. What would you, for instance, what would you personally evaluate if you were evaluating Kelleher? What's the number that you would say that Kelleher, for instance, is rated?
Keller, I think a fair price for Keller would be about 25 million, because he's got quite a good bit of experience now.
Okay. I
30 million for him.
Liverpool want. I know. I'm asking because Liverpool want 35 to 40 million.
Yeah, I thought 20 was low when I heard 20. People were saying 20 were selling for. I was like, no, that's too low. I wouldn't take that for Keller.
Teams are trying to get him for 15. There were teams that were trying to get him for 15. That's ridiculous. But then it goes to what Brian mentioned earlier too. I think is that, like, too often you hear these evaluations, and they're evaluations of the other team's evaluations of our players, and then they get it circulating, and it feels like, and then that's the price that they're going to try. They try to get some discounted price for Liverpool players. And I'm like, I don't understand why that's the case for our individual players.
Stands and saves, and he had a really good busy season where he played a lot of games, and he made some outstanding saves. There's no way we should be letting him go for anything less than 30 million, in my opinion. Because you see the prices of some of the goalkeepers, like Kepa was best part of 80 million, wasn't he, or something? I mean, that's Chelsea, though. They're mental, aren't they, when it comes to spending money?
I have two questions then, and I'm going to the one question is from the chat, so I'll bring up the chat's question first before I bring up my own. And we're gonna be ending in a few minutes, or like 15, 16 minutes here. The question is, do you agree with this statement? Hyler just said, sad to tell you this, but for a good Bayern Munich player to go from Bayern Munich to Liverpool is a step down, especially now that Klopp is gone. I highly don't agree with that. I do not agree with
JK.
that.
I'll let JK
But-
take that one first, man, will you? Let
Yeah.
JK take that first, because we need time
Can
to
you
simmer
repeat
on
that, 12?
Yeah, no problem. This is from our good friend and fellow Red High Lord, so keep that in mind. Don't take it personally. Sad to tell you this, but for a good Bayern Munich player to go from Bayern Munich to Liverpool is a step down, especially now that Klopp is gone. That is the opinion of High Lord. Do you agree with that opinion?
I wouldn't agree with it. Yeah, with Klopp, we're not we're big time, but I just feel we're on par with Bayern. Bayern are the biggest club in Germany, most successful. Liverpool are the most successful in England, so we're about the same, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Klopp's departure has diminished.
How about for you, Lee?
I suppose Klopp's departure has diminished the appeal a bit, like for somebody prospectively coming in from Bayern Munich, whereas he was about a German coach, a German-speaking coach, and now they won't. Well, man, Dutch and German isn't that dissimilar, is it? Like Dutch can usually speak German well, slot Dutch, isn't he?
Brian?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. We're talking about that because of Kimmich. Kimmich has been linked to something. Is that why?
Kimmich has been linked to us. Yeah. That could be also maybe why he's saying that. Maybe also.
No, it's Musiala.
Musiala probably is what. Yeah.
That's what's triggered that one. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't understand why I think that we're not in a position. I don't know why he's saying we're not in a position to go. I mean, us getting back to Champions League, us going pretty deep in your Europa money is not the same as Champions League money. I'm not even suggesting that, but but we do have some assets that we can sell off if it ends up getting there. But I don't know. I don't know why he would say. I know High Lord and I were going back and forth about our differences in what we believe Liverpool can spend and not end up being in trouble with the PSR rulings or regulations. But how about you, Brian? Did you want to comment on that?
Yeah, again, myself and Hyler have had differences of
opinions
maybe in the past, or and he keeps coming back. So I'm assuming he's thick-skinned enough. But I just think that's I think it's utter BS. Again, it's completely objective as well, because it's what is a step down. You have to ask a player. You ask a player whether they want to play for a club. You say to anybody, any player in world football right now, same money on the table. It shouldn't even come down to that. If you ask any player in world football now, who is a bigger club, Bayern Munich or Liverpool FC? Who's the bigger club? I think you'd be doing well to win that vote for Bayern Munich. If you're to get an honest answer from people, you might get a 50-50, but there's no way to describe Liverpool as a step down from Bayern Munich just because Bayern Munich have a dominance in their league. They have a hegemony in their league until last year. Like, let's see how long the Leverkusen fairy tale lasts. To say that Liverpool is a step down from really any club, I think is wrong. Okay, you can talk about right now you want to win trophies, all of that, but then you're just talking about the profile of the club. Then you're talking about the player at the time. That's a season by season thing. There's if Bayern will win the Champions League and we were getting relegated, okay, but right now, and then there's also to say that especially since Klopp is gone, and this is something that I'm probably going to get sick of saying. This is Liverpool FC. It's not Klopp FC. It was never Klopp FC. It never will be Klopp FC. It'll never be Slot FC or Pochettino FC. It'll be Liverpool FC. So if anybody looks at us differently because Klopp isn't here, then again, just jog on, because that doesn't change the trophy cabinet. That doesn't change the numbers on the wall. That doesn't change the titles that we have. You know, that doesn't make us a smaller club. So, yeah, Bayern could win another 100 Bundesligas and another 5 Champions Leagues, and they'd never be a bigger club than Liverpool. Even if and you know me, I can take off my Liverpool glasses. I can take them off. And I would say even then, Liverpool is just as big a club as Bayern Munich is, and always will be. So
yeah. I can agree that. Look, all due respect to the Bundesliga, I just don't think the Bundesliga is the same. I don't think people rate the Bundesliga in the same caliber as England. That I think we can all agree on. I get that Bayern Munich is the toast of Germany. By the way, Spain has taken a 2-1 lead in that game, by the way. Olmo is now in for Pedri as well. But what I was getting at is that I do agree that you have a case where Bayern Munich is, the top of the top in the Bundesliga. I just still don't think that I would say that they're above Liverpool when it comes to draw or any of those kinds of concepts of appeal, global appeal and global brand recognition. There's no way I would say Bayern Munich is above Liverpool.
If you're a player and you sign for Liverpool, again, I don't want to get into the horribleness of all of this part, but like you just said, if you're a player and you sign for Liverpool and you're a player and you sign for Bayern, I would imagine that in that kind of thing, you would probably get offered more sponsorship deals and worldwide shit like that. Like you were saying, if you sign for Liverpool, then if you sign for Bayern. Not by much.
Not by much, but you would.
But you would, I think.
You just would. Quick question for the panel here. Again, we did this yesterday with Ant, but I just wanted to make sure that I heard it right, because I still don't think that was a correct evaluation. But real quick question. Do you think that Kelleher is a top 10 goalie in the Premier League? Do you think that Kelleher could play at? Do you think that Kelleher, if we were to go down the teams, that are in the Prem, do you think that Kelleher could start at least 10, if not 11, obviously, of those teams? JK, do you have an opinion on that one?
Yeah, because he was our number one for a long time, and I reckon he did pretty well. The only thing he sort of lacks in his game, he lets too many goals in that are close to his body. But other than that, with his feet, he's good. I reckon he can get in most teams in the Premier League.
I think so too.
Yeah. He's done well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I got him into 6th or something like that. I think I only had to go down to like 6th before I was like, yeah, he'd start for them.
Exactly.
Like, I was like, yeah, he won't start for them. Probably won't start for them. Yada yada yada. But by the time you get to a Villa or a Newcastle, he's in the picture. And then as soon as you drop below a Villa or a Newcastle, even though he starts for Newcastle over Pope for me, maybe not Dubravka. He doesn't start over Dubravka, maybe, but he starts for everybody else. Else.
I was surprised when like some of the names that were being put out there. I'm like, I get, like, for you to say Ramsdale. I mean, like, even that's a push. Like, I get that Ramsdale is or was their starting keeper. He's no longer their starting keeper. But with Raya, but I was like, Nick Pope? No, I think Kelleher's better than Nick Pope. I think he's better than I think he's better than Ramsdale. I think he's better than Onana, personally. But did you have an opinion on that, Lee? Do you think that he's a top 10 goalkeeper in the Prem, Kelleher?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, he could play for one of the. He could be in goal for Spurs. You know what I mean? It was Spurs goalie Vicario, was it the fella?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure I wasn't going crazy. That's really what I wanted to make sure, because I was just like, I don't know. I don't know. I've heard people question the evaluation, the actual valuation on Kelleher, especially now that they're trying to say that he's 35-40 million, and I can understand why. If you're talking about a goalkeeper that could possibly start at half the league's teams, I think you'd have to give a proper evaluation. You're looking at James Trafford going for 20-25 million or something like that, right? Then I rate him over Trafford, over a Burnley squad where he was on a Burnley squad where Trafford ended up losing favor in that team. I would definitely say that.
Lots of experience now, Queen, hasn't he, in Europe and in Premier League and in cup competitions? He was in goal for the Carabao Cup final in 2022, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So he's well experienced now, isn't he? With big occasions and that. So
the only thing, Lee, though, I've said, like, we bump it, and you put all the numbers, and I say, yeah, it's worth it. But what I've always said from the start is that there's a ceiling to the amount of money that a club that's going to buy a player like Kelleher can spend on him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a striker. He's not a winger. He's not a creator. He's a goalkeeper. So clubs can't go out, especially these days now. They have to watch what they're spending. So that's why I said the Celtic links were stupid, because Celtic can never come close to affording what we would want from, like, especially for, like, let alone for a goalkeeper, not even a striker. So there be kind of comes an upper limit to, in my mind at least, there becomes an upper limit to the amount of money that the kind of clubs, because everything is a chain. It's not just, well, he's this, so that's what he costs. So it's a kind of club that would want to buy him. He would be happy to join, and are looking for a goalkeeper, and are prepared to spend 25. That's 5-6 different chains or links in that chain already. So it's not like, oh, he's 40 million quid. Yeah, we'll get that for. I think 20 is more realistic in sterling. That would be 25 million euro, because I think if we were, I'd be worried that we would do a Nat Phillips to Bournemouth scenario, where Bournemouth were like, we'll give you 8, and that's a lot for us. And we're like, no, we want 15. And they're like, yeah, but it's Nat Phillips. And we're like, yeah, we want 15. Nat Phillips is still at the club. I think, yeah, there becomes an upper limit to the amount of money that someone will actually be prepared to pay. And that's what, again, we say this, but at the end of the day, what the market decides what a player is worth. We can say he's this, that. If you open him up to the market, and the highest bid you get is 18, that's what he's worth to the market. So I'd be worried about us overpricing him, but not overly concerned if he was still here next year. Happy to keep him if he's happy to stay.
I was just putting a thing. And I was just putting up something for Hylor. I get Hylor's take, by the way. Hylor, I get your take. I understand, proud. Everyone is proud of their home countries, to put it. So you do have sometimes a little bit of a bias as to how your opinion might. I think personally how your opinion might go for whatever club you represent. I can say this: Bayern Munich is a phenomenally incredible revenue-making club. But like I said, in the top 10 grossing clubs in the world, okay, again, the top 10 grossing clubs in the world, 6 of them are in England, and there's a reason for that. And even if you get down to Bayern Munich is 6th in the list, or was 6th in the list. At least last year they were. They're 6. Go City, Madrid, Real Madrid, Liverpool, Manchester United, PSG, then Bayern Munich. So you're talking about a club that has a monopoly on Germany and has had a monopoly, and the way the league is even set has an incredible advantage towards them making money, and they still end up being 6th in that list, high lord. So I can understand them being able to spend incredible numbers on De Ligt, like 300,000 or whatever they're spending on De Ligt, or 400,000 pounds on Kane. I can get that. I can understand that completely. But it helps when you have a stranglehold on the financial coffers of Germany when it comes to Bayern. In my opinion, at least, that's how I view it. But I know,
and it's just, and also what Heiler is saying there is, he's saying like the Spanish people will say Real Madrid are the biggest club in the world. Real Madrid are the big, but Real Madrid are the biggest club in the world if you want to go by all those numbers. But and you're saying and German, but what I would say is okay. Well, ask a Spaniard and a Frenchman who's a bigger club, Liverpool or Bayern Munich. That I'd say do that. Don't ask a Spaniard. Who's the biggest club? They'll say Real Madrid. If you ask a Liverpool fan who's a bigger club, they'll say Liverpool. Ask a Spaniard and a Frenchman who's bigger, Liverpool or Bayern Munich. And I reckon, again, it won't be massive, but I reckon Liverpool would win out. I think they would.
Yeah.
But definitely, I'm still not taking the step down thing. No. It's not.
Yeah, the step down things I think is
no.
Yeah, I think that's a step too far. I think that's a step too far. But look, everyone's welcome to an opinion. Hi, Lord. This isn't us trying to like hold you to the coals or something like that, or throw you on the fire, or something like that.
Well, Heiler loves a debate. Heiler likes it.
Yeah, I think Heiler loves a debate, so that's why I don't think Heiler's taking offense to anything we're saying. We're having discussion, having debate. But again, it's pretty incredible. I mean, even if you look at the top 20, though, I mean, you're talking about. I don't even know. I think there's only one other team in Germany that gets in this list in the top 20.
Dortmund, yeah,
and that's Dortmund. And Dortmund are virtual. Look, I think Dortmund's an incredible club, but Dortmund is in a massive club, but Dortmund also is a virtual feeder club for Bayern Munich in essence, So yeah.
I was really pleased Dortmund got to the final this year. I felt like it was deserved for the Bundesliga to have another German team reaching the final, and that because it's a good league, the Bundesliga, and it's been a bit of a lean time apart from Bayern getting to finals and stuff, as Bayern always reach finals and managed to win some and that so it was nice to see Dortmund back in one, because I do remember Dortmund winning it in '97.
Right.
And they're a good club, aren't they? Aside from being there, I've always liked Dortmund, and thought they were a good club. So yeah, it was nice to see them in the final. Shame they couldn't win it, but there you go.
Yeah, I have. There's no love lost in seeing Bayern Munich go down. I know that JK is not a Bayern Munich fan either, so yes, you rather see Hertha Berlin probably, right? Do well.
Yeah, Hertha Berlin is cool. I used to like Stuttgart. I used to go. I've been to a few games. Watch Stuttgart play, and played on the pitch there as well. on the training ground next door to it. Yeah.
We're at the 66th minute, 2-1 Spain over Georgia currently. Go ahead, Lee. I'm just giving up an update.
I was going to say, it'd be really interesting if Bayer Leverkusen was somehow managed to retain the Bundesliga, wouldn't it? That'd be such a shock because everyone is expecting.
They can. Yeah.
Playing it back straight away.
Yeah. That'd be.
A natural run of
Bayern
things.
Munich.
Straight away, but it's not a given. You don't know, you know. Xabi Alonso could pull it out the fire again, couldn't he?
I think that now that I haven't even thought about it, but now that you're saying that I would give it. It sounds ridiculous, and it sounds like they're a one-off underdog story. They'll lose all their best players, yada yada yada. But as we've just been talking about now for most of the night on different occasions, Bayern are in a bit of a mess. Bayern are really kind of, for the first time in a long time, they're doing what they always do, but they are actually a little bit all over the place structurally and administratively, and that's why they've always been so strong. Bayern, they always had the right people running the club, ex-players making football decisions, and they make good decisions. Now they seem to be kind of getting a bit wrong. So if Leverkusen just do something even, they don't have to go invincible, obviously. But if they can put together just a really good, strong season like they did last year with the same manager and 90% of the same players and some good young player or good new players he can bring in, why not? Why not at all? Like if Bayern continue to be this kind of, we sacked Tuchel and then we said, can you forget about the fact that we sacked you because we want you to stay, and but we're actually going to interview another guy tomorrow, and if he wants the job, do you mind leaving? And all this kind of nonsense that seems to be going on there. Why can't Leverkusen, if they keep their heads down and concentrate on the league, maybe 2-2 in a row?
Yeah. I was going to say, I see Heiler's question. He said, how many of those top 6 teams, how many of those 6 in the top 10 can actually produce a profit, and how do they govern their economy? That's what his question was.
Yeah, but the original question is, who's a bigger team, right?
Right.
Liverpool or Bayern Munich? That's a complete ethereal question. It's completely objective. So you can't answer that question with numbers. So it's who's a bigger team, Liverpool or Bayern Munich? Yeah. What's your choice? What do you like? What do you have in tea or coffee? It's up to you. You pick who you think, because the differences are minimal. You're splitting hairs, really. But I suppose again, a lot of it will come down to where do you come from, maybe how old you are. Maybe something like that. But to me, Bayern have always just been like a really big European club, but they've never been one of, they're not a Madrid, Barcelona, AC Milan, Liverpool. To me, they're just that other club that's really big and successful. But look, again,
to each their own. To each their own. If you believe that Bayern Munich is a step up from Liverpool, that's your opinion. I don't agree with that. I think that like Liverpool are to be one of the biggest clubs in England, which is we can all agree that England is the most notable, is looked at as being the best league in the world, So I don't think that if you are a top tier team in England, it automatically makes you it makes an argument for you to be looked at as being never a step down. It would certainly be a step up to go to these teams, that if you're in the most popular, biggest league in the world, So yeah, that's just again, it gets down to semantics, I guess. We're going to be landing this plane, though. I know we're a little bit over the 2-hour mark here. I know there's also still 70th minute, 2-1 Spain, holding on to a win, to their lead here. Yeah, I don't think that there again. Do I think that Bayern Munich is going to Australia and selling out rugby
Exactly.
stadiums?
200,000 people.
No,
Yeah, exactly.
it's not happening. Hi, Lord. I that's my point. And that's
Norman knows. We're trying to be polite, but Norman. Yeah.
Is Bayern Munich going? Is Bayern Munich going to on an Asian tour and selling out stadiums? No, they're not.
Half of Singapore.
This sounds like a political rally now.
I know.
It sounds like a political rally.
Yeah, I know. It kind of does, but it is the truth. No, this has nothing to do because I mean, like, again.
Are Bayern Munich lowering taxes for the working poor? No, they're not.
No, they're not.
I thought Bayern Munich for Tories. Something, I don't know. Something like that. No, we're not going there. We're not even going there. Anyways, I see you. Okay, YouTube name. That's very generic. Okay, but still cool. They do sell. They do globally sell more shirts than Bayern Munich by far.
Yeah, imagine the
I think Bayern Munich is fortunate to be in Germany, where obviously Adidas and Puma both hail from. So, they obviously get the love from both of those companies as being their target to represent Germany, I'm sure. But yeah.
No, none of us want Gordon. Well, I don't know actually. The chat, a quick straw poll, as it were, yes or no answer. Put a 1 in the chat if you want Anthony Gordon.
Oh God, why are we going back there?
No,
I thought we moved on.
No, because honestly, just dropped in. Dropped in a little update there. Well, update-ish. But well, he's asking it too. Okay, but don't even ask that. Gordon or Kvaratskhelia, Kvaradona, Kvitskia.
Kvaradona.
That's not even.
I would definitely take it. 3-1. 3-1. Own goal is probably going to be what I take. Oh, he's offsides. Offsides. I'm with you, Norm. I think I would like to see John Neves be a name that we go for. Be nice. Now, is he the needle maker? Needle change? He changes the needle. How do you say that right? The needle mover.
Shift the needle. Yeah. Shift the needle.
Yeah, shift the needle. Like I don't know if he's that at this current moment, but he's someone that I would love to see develop into the full potential that this player certainly has at Liverpool. I would love to see that. I definitely would love to see that. Yeah. Oh, look. It makes you go. It makes you. I understand that the way that the German teams are set up with the ownership being fans having ownership in the team, that they would never see a Super League entry from them or whatever, those kinds of things, or moving of the team. But if you were to where do you think Bayern Munich would be if Bayern Munich was in the Premier League? That's a funny question, because that's basically what YouTube name is asking.
But they'd kind of be
well, now
they'd be a big London club, wouldn't they? They'd be a
and your boy Nico just scored, by the way.
Nico Williams, did he?
Yeah.
He
just scored a banger of a goal. Wow.
Tough tackler, good pass. Who's that, Norm? Tough tackler,
good passer,
long and short. Yeah, who is this kid? Is he like a DM? JK, you're the DM.
He is a DM. Yes.
Is he on your radar? JK, you've been crying out for DMs for. Do you know about it? What's your opinion on this Jan Neves guy?
I can't really say, bro.
Yeah, Portuguese player.
Yeah, the Portuguese player. Yeah.
He's old.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks tidy. He looks good.
Mm.
He looks good. So, but for me, there's a guy at Colombia.
Typical Portuguese type, tidy, and yeah. Okay. Who's on your radar? Then you're like I say, you're the DM guy. Who's on your radar?
The guy from Portugal.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
I like Paul.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. This guy just got beer dumped on him during the celebration. That's funny. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking
That
that.
sucks,
Oh yeah,
by the
yeah.
way. That sucks. It's one thing to see your team score. It's another thing to be next to someone that's going crazy, and then you get drenched with this beer. I'm sorry. That's horrible.
He was probably on a live as well. That was probably live as well.
10 quid for those beers, you know. I won't be wasting them.
Yeah, totally.
But JK, go ahead. Who is your guy for DM?
Richard Rios from Colombia. One guy, Tucumeni from Real Madrid. You got to get one. We got to get a big time DM, and it's just simple. Look at Rodri. Take him out of Man City team, the Spanish team. They're not that good. That's how important a DM is for me as well, man. And I think Ask Norman. He's been saying it for time as well.
Man City were bang average without Rodri. Every time he missed a game last season, he lost.
Yeah,
and
agreed.
Played them on tears and lost without Rodri. I can't remember who it was. It was someone embarrassing they lost to.
Crystal Palace. Palace are the kryptonite. They beat them. Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. I do like Neves, 19-year-old, very talented player, high, potential ceiling.
Yeah.
If we were going to go to Benfica and get a player, I would have preferred us to probably get Florentino Luis. I think that he does a lot more of the dirty work that we've come to accustom to, wanting from like your Fabinhos and such. Like we're talking about the reason why we're talking about João Neves is because João Neves he plays in a pivot with Florentino Luis, and he's able to go forward. And he's able to get a little bit more mixed involved. That's why I rated him like a Pachetic in that, yeah, he could play a DM or he could play a midfielder role, but he's more of like a role that you want to see going forward as opposed to being anchored as a defender. And
he's not holding a midfield at 18 on his own. No way, definitely. No. Like these are kids, yeah.
Right.
Like I want this 24. João Neves, like you said, big ceiling, one for the future. Awesome. Great. But definitely too young. I mean, we need younger than Endo, but that's going too far, I think.
I just think that if we'd gone for another, he again is another Portuguese player. If we had gone for, at one time we were looking to possibly go for him too, by the way, but then he resigned his deal. Unfortunately, and that is Florentino Luis. I just think he's more of a destroyer in essence of a player, and if that's what we are searching for, more of the body and make of a defensive midfielder for what we would like. Because as I think it was it Norm that put that in the chat, or someone put it in the chat, or YouTube name put it in the chat. He's like 5'8", 5'9", is that's João Neves. But when you get to Florentino, you're looking at a 6-foot player. He's 24, about to come into his prime. He's the kind of player that I think could hold it down for us a little bit more, and might be around the same asking price if it came down to them leaving. But I don't think that I don't think that they're interested. They understand.
Well, if we're playing a double pivot, it changes a bit, right? Like we're playing a 3 on the club. But if we're playing a double pivot, then that changes a bit. Like because then you go to the classic that everyone's old enough to remember, the Alonso Mascherano combination. Alonso deep lying, yes, but a playmaker. Mascherano tough tackler. If we're going to go with that kind of thing, then it's easier to it's a lot easier to do that way, and then say put a McAllister in the 10. Then to have to go in and go, right, who's going to be our one guy? We're going to play 3. Who's going to be our one holder? Who's going to be our one sitting midfielder? Because he's got a lot of work to do. That can't be some 18-year-old kid. That's got to be a proper player that can hold it down.
It's got to be a proper player.
Yeah. But if you're doing a double pivot, that opens up your options a bit. Then you can have one of each. A holder, like I say, deep line playmaker, which could be McAllister with someone else. I like that system. It's going back to, but not that potentially we're going to do that. I don't know, but if you're going to play with two holders in there, I've always liked the 4-2-3-1 because it gives you the option to play with those kind of players.
I actually have started to. I've actually started to kind of like shade towards the 4-4-2, especially.
Yeah, that's us watching these old movies, man. We're watching these old movies, and you're like,
old games. I'm like, the 4-4-2 was where it's at.
It was awesome, man. It was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. Two strikers up top, man. 2 men in the middle, one attacking, one holding, 2 wingers, 2 strikers. Go for it.
Go for it. I thought that was a real. I mean, we don't see that too often nowadays in modern football, but that was where I was at, truthfully.
Not in attacking. No, they defend in banks of 4-4-2 now, which is really annoying. The way they try. Oh, we defend in a 4-4-2. Now play it with 2 wingers, a lefty on the left, a right foot on the right, a Heskey and Owen up top. Yeah, man.
Yeah, the winger for I think he's for he's for Barcelona. See Barcelona. Who plays wing on first? Let me see real quick. The Spanish winger. I think he plays for Barcelona. Yeah.
Oh, Lamal. Oh, what a player.
He's a really, I mean, that's phenomenal player, phenomenal young player as well.
16 years old and he's out there doing it like that.
It is basically, Olmo just scored his brace, by the way. It is now 4-1. Spain is in, it is raining. And I think those might be Georgia. I don't know. Georgia shouldn't cry, by the way. They're getting beat very badly here, but you should be proud. I mean, not many people in Georgia are making it this far at all.
No, absolutely.
But to go up against Spain, who is just going into high gear right now against Georgia.
You'll all remember when we were really strongly linked with Danny Olmo. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Great little player.
There's been rumors about that Olmo was a possible target for us again, to be honest with you, Brian, this summer. I don't think that's a target. That wouldn't move my needle. That wouldn't make me I wouldn't be completely on board with that. I think he's too
great little player though. He's very
great player. I just think he's a little bit too. I think that would be like the comment that you had against Virgil van Dijk. Getting a player to at an age.
Sorry, yeah.
Getting a player where you wish you got him 2-3 years before you end up getting him.
Where is he now? Actually, where is he now? I know he was in Salzburg, Leipzig. He's still in Leipzig. Oh, okay. Oh, he's still there. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep. I'm doing it well, like LL Cool J for RB Leipzig.
Yeah, I'm with Norm on this one. I don't like. Sorry, quickly because Ant was on. I get the whole. I cannot in my mind figure out why in all the world Chelsea think it's necessary to sign Keenan Dewsbury wedding venue. I just don't. What are they doing? Why are they like?
No, that ain't
he is.
That one
makes no sense. What we asked? Look, obviously, Maresca is there, the ex-Leicester manager. Yeah, cool. He liked him. Fine. He's a good player. We've all seen him. He's decent. He played really well against us. But to them, the problems they have to go and land another 30 on that guy who everybody knows is never going to play for them. He's going to play about 2 games, then he's going to go out on loan, and that's it. We all know that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that transfer to me makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
It'd be a bad move for the player, wouldn't it? Although that sounds...
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, totally.
The Danny Drinkwater style. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look
I
what happened to
mean,
him and ended up a bloody Trabzonspor.
yeah, there you go. And like, come on, that guy, Dewsbury Hall, like, he's not a big team player. He's a good player, but he's not a big team player.
He's
Just a
not
good
a
player.
35 million
Yeah.
pound player.
Exactly.
No way.
He's just a good player.
He's a good player. 35 million pound player.
For Chelsea, though. Like,
Yeah.
okay, for
That's nearly
Brighton,
what-
yeah,
that's
that
like-
made sense.
That's nearly
Or
what we
Yeah,
said
Brighton, yeah.
for
Yeah.
Gravenbergs.
Or
You know, but this
Brentford
Gravenbergs
or
is
someone.
19 or 20. Excuse me.
Maybe this is the new Chelsea, circumspect in manner when it comes to financial restraint. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
this is,
don't know, man. It makes no sense to me at all. That
This,
one.
can you see what Norm? You want to read out what Norm has to say here?
12th. This is around the 10th deal Villa, Chelsea, Everton, Leicester, Newcastle have done between them now. Leicester are bringing in Golding from Chelsea. Well, yeah, they're all in the league together. They're going to sell each other players. So, but I get what you're saying. These people, they know they have to make deals. They do. I don't think they're kind of helping each other
But
out.
all 5 of those teams
In
are the 5 teams that are in PSR problems.
Yeah, but so that's why they're
So the
dealing.
PSR problem teams are selling to each other.
Yeah.
How is that? How does that help out your books?
But that's what I'm saying. That's why they're dealing. That's
Yeah.
why the clubs that are selling. So it's the clubs that need to sell are the ones that are selling. So it's
Right.
yeah.
Now I'm not saying they don't need
is,
to
yeah.
sell, but
No, I know, no, but I'm not
Yeah.
saying is that. But what I'm saying
Yeah.
is they're not in some kind of corrupt little scheme together. They're just trading. They're just trading to make money. They're hiding. They're trying to swap it. And it's like when
they're
Pjanic.
trying to figure out ways to get around the books.
Yeah,
Basically.
you give us your player, and we'll move him there. And they can do deals with those other clubs who are the most desperate to do deals, who are the other PSR clubs.
Mhm.
So that's why it looks like that. That's how I would explain that.
Mhm.
Again, Norm, it is. These boys they're all on sinking ships, and they're trying to kind of, deal with. That's not a great analogy, but they're all trying to help each other out.
Bail
in
water
some
of a
way.
bucket. Bail water of a little bucket.
It's like I'll take a bit of yours, you take a bit of mine, and hopefully at the end we'll all stay afloat. I think I tied that up together. Okay, actually, yeah. So it's a bit of that, really. They all need to trade. We'll give you us, you give you that guy. Let's put it down as a loan, and we'll pay it next year, and then we give you that guy, and boom, next thing you know. But like the boys said earlier on, Newcastle have sold off 2 very, very promising young players in this Anderson guy and the other guy, just to sneak in. They would have been better off selling a Gordon. But no
doubt.
This is what they're doing is they're selling their 2. Anderson is that last year it was like, oh, he's going to be the new this. We won't need to. Everyone's saying we're going to buy players. We won't. We have players like Anderson. We're still bringing through young kids. Well, you've just sold them. True, Norm, absolutely true. I know what you're saying, man. I know what you're saying. Yeah. But look, just be thankful that we aren't one of these car crash bullshit clubs that's having to have a yard sale basically on the 30th, saying everything must go by midnight tonight.
Yeah.
Kind
Trying
of thing.
to figure out hotels to sell or.
Yeah, we're not one of those clubs. We're cool. We can just sit there and go, stay at them.
Yeah.
Stay at those clubs. We're cool. We're fine. We're well run. Remember, Norm, it's not that long ago we were in the High Court trying to save the club. It's not that long ago. So we're at least we're not in that state now. We're stable. Right. We're well run.
Yeah. There's let's see, what is this? There was an actual article. I'm trying to pull up the article for you, Norm, that kind of answers what you're talking about. Because there's apparently like they've actually gotten a letter sent to them. Chelsea got a letter sent to them because they're there are 3 teams that are reportedly trying to use a loophole to get around a lot of these different like PSR rules and such. And those 3 teams are reportedly Chelsea, Everton, and Villa. And it's why they're making a lot of these different deals with each other, is apparently because of this. So they're saying that at times now, report the Premier League is monitoring the transfers to ensure that a rule about clubs acting good faith is not breached. Clubs have been made aware that charging inflated fees as a loophole to PSR would be in breach of Rule B15, which states all clubs should act in good faith and not attempt to circumvent rules. So what they're saying is, look, we get it. You need to make money. Other teams need to make money. So don't go about trying to sell these players to these teams with higher price tags on them than they normally would have gotten, simply because you're trying to say, you take some of my debt, I'll take some of yours, basically, to kind of like help their books get closer to where they need to get to. It's one of those cases.
But no club will
Chelsea
ever help. Let's be honest about it. No club will ever go out of their way to help another club. They're all in a desperate, lethal fight for survival in the Premier League. They will cut your throat to save their own lives.
That multi-team thing now, man, makes it a whole different.
No, I mean clubs in the Premier League don't go out to help each other. No, but the clubs in the Premier League don't go out to help each other. They don't. They're not buying players off each other to do each other a favor, and like that's the one thing that always grinds my gears so much. And I know fans don't mean it, but when they always say something like about, oh, typical Southampton, I bet they won't do us a favor at the weekend. Why the fuck would Southampton do Liverpool a favor? Because they're playing
exactly,
City.
yeah.
Why would they? Why would a Southampton fan want to do Liverpool a favor? Oh, typical Leicester. They never do us any favors. They're not in the business of playing football to do us favors. Grow up, man. No, it's so there's a little bit. Georgia on my mind. Oh,
Georgia's on my mind and my heart, but
yeah.
Hey, enjoy that's what it's meant to be. Just enjoy it for what it was worth. I know it's not exactly fun to watch a game in pouring rain, and see your team lose.
Well, at least they didn't at least they didn't take him off the pitch, right, Cheque?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had to be Oliver, didn't it?
Yeah.
He's pointing at the sky. That was the best thing. He's like, he brings your man over and he's pointing at the sky, and your man's like, "Oh, right, the sky, yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I think there's a problem with like the sky." He's like, "Yeah, okay, right. What? Are you like you can predict the weather right now?" So yeah, it doesn't look great, does it? Oh, what a! I don't. I've never seen it before. I don't know. It's like games have been played in the rain and lightning before, so. But
lightning, a little different story, man. Lightning, different story.
It is different, but it's the first. It's not that it's never. I mean, games have been played in lightning before, and it's never been. We're in 2024, and they're stopping one. It's okay. I get why you shouldn't be out in lightning. Obviously you don't want to be, but it's taken us this long for it to be kind of someone saying, yeah, well we can't play this now. We're taking them off.
Lightning, I think. Well, I was just gonna say lightning. Lightning. I get you could have probably played in a game, lightning storm, but lightning, you're probably doing it because you don't want. The last thing you want is fan, hit by lightning bolt game, in 1-0 England match. That's the last thing you want as your headline.
But the fans can't go anywhere. The fans sat in their seats. They don't go anywhere, so they're as exposed. It was taking the players off the pitch.
Well, normally they go into the concourse. They go into the concourse.
Well, no, but not all. Most of them stayed. But it's not. It was the guy on the Irish thing. He was saying that technically, he was saying the reason is that it's the steel in the studs in the players' boots or conductors if in the event that a lightning strike was to hit the pitch. It's about the players. Yeah, it's because there's steel in their studs still. Apparently, I thought they were all like rubber compounds now or composites. But he was saying it has happened before, and that is technically the reason. But I'm just saying, like, there's games played all over the world before. It's in lightning. It's just it's strange that all of a sudden, not as strange. I just wonder why didn't they stop them before then? But yeah, you don't want to be out. Everyone goes inside when it's lightning. It's just a natural reaction. Like, but yeah, it was kind of. They were talking about it for an hour beforehand on RT. They're like, "Oh, there's really bad weather coming," because we're Irish. Like, we're obsessed with the weather because the weather's always about to get bad here. So there's there.
It's 41 degrees Celsius here, man, right now. I don't want to talk about weather. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, come over here and get like rained on in 11 degrees in the middle of fucking July or something. If you don't want 41, complain about the heat then.
I feel you. 4-1 that means Spain will be going against High Lures and JK Sports Germany too. So he's going to get Spain's going to be a tough. That's going to be a tough game.
That's a final. That's a final.
That could have been a final easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Game that.
Shows you how lopsided that draw is because you've got like England versus Switzerland and Netherlands are going to play Austria or something, whatever it might be on that, and then
that's no walkover either. That's no walkover.
But I mean, but then you got like on the other side you've got France, Spain, Germany. Yeah. They're all on the other side of the draw. It's like that like Spain versus France. Or Spain versus Germany at the moment, they're probably the two most, definitely the two most impressive teams.
Yeah, they've been the most two impressive, informed teams in this tournament, I think. Have been Spain and Germany. Most consistent as well with their performances. The most consistent with their performances.
They've got goals in them, both of them. Everyone else has struggled to, be kind of dominant and goal scoring. Yeah, but they're actually putting the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah. Big games coming up too, people. In case you're interested, in case you don't have much on your Sunday docket, there are some big games in Copa as well coming up. The games will be played at the same time now. The games are for Group B. It's Jamaica versus Venezuela, Mexico versus Ecuador. It's kind of interesting because the Mexico-Ecuador game is here in Arizona. So I don't know if Dara is still part of the chat here. I don't know if he's going to that game or not. But very, very big game. I know it's most likely a sellout. Mexico sells out their games here in Arizona almost every time they do play here. Even when it is against U.S. men's national team, it's like easy like 70-30 or something like that, if not 80-20 at times it feels like. But yeah, Mexico, Mexico has to win this game to move on. Ecuador has to win as well to move on. So it's whoever wins that game moves on along with Venezuela. So very, very, very big game for if you're looking for a game that probably will have some interesting twists and turns. 5 o'clock. I'm not sure if anyone's doing a watch along for that game. Tomorrow, I will be doing a watch along though for the Copa.
Okay. You're doing one tomorrow for what game?
So tomorrow's game is. Let me just get this game pulled up here.
USMNT, that really does sound like a delivery firm, though, doesn't it? I'm sorry. Like it does. Like USMNT, you've got to change that up. So, like, USMNT. It really, yeah, it does sound like a bank, and it doesn't even sound like a bank. It just sounds like a parcel delivery company. It's like USMNT. Yeah, too many letters. Just too many letters. Too many letters, man. Like, what did you call the basketball guys? What did you call the dream team? That's what you want. There you go. Do you remember the basketball? Yeah, the dream team. That was it. Yeah. That's a name. Yeah, that's a name.
That's a great name.
And you
tomorrow
as long as you back
Bolivia.
it up. As long as you back it up.
Right.
If you go around calling yourself the dream team and you don't win, no.
If you go around, you go around calling yourself the dream team,
not too
win.
good.
Yeah,
you got.
That's why they don't call it the dream team anymore, even though it has NBA players. They don't call it the dream team anymore. I was gonna just announce though, tomorrow, if you are up for a late night, I get it. It will be late. It's the kickoff for me is at 6 p.m. for instance. So that is an extremely late kickoff for you guys. I know it's like 1 a.m. in the morning or something like that. Is it 1 a.m. or is it 2 a.m.? 1 or 2? But I will be doing a show tomorrow because the USA plays Uruguay. It's a very, very big, important game for U.S. men's national team. It's also a chance to see Darwin Nunez. It's also a chance to see. It's also a chance to see whether they go into the knockout stages with 3 wins in the group, or if it ends up being a draw or a loss for Uruguay tomorrow. They definitely are the hands-on favorites for that game, and because they're certainly one of the most informed teams in Copa. I'm hoping for a Bolivia win tomorrow against Panama, definitely the POS team of this tournament so far. And that's about all we have slated for tomorrow. So 2 a.m. tomorrow. I know it's a late one.
Yeah, as Bonkers is saying,
but you never know.
It's 2 a.m. UK time and it's 3 a.m. JK time. So if you're in Central Europe,
it's okay, Marion. We still got love for you, Marion. Even though we were rooting for Uruguay, and I know your boy Darweezy, to get that victory and get a goal, continue his goal streak probably. It's going to be interesting.
Someone popped it up there earlier. Someone said he had something like 3 in whatever before Bielsa, and since Bielsa has taken over, he's got like 10 and 11 or something like crazy. He had 3 in, and then he's made a huge difference. Bielsa, what a coach!
Oh, great coach! Yeah, I heard someone give a shout, and we're on the tarmac, people. We're gonna let you go. I was just gonna say real quick. I heard someone try to give a shout that what if we got Bielsa as our coach? And I was like, that he's a phenomenal coach. I don't know if we would have. I mean, for a stopgap, yes, maybe not. I think we would have probably found ourselves in a situation very similar to Leeds, where players would have been like, I don't know how maintainable a Bielsa system is.
2 years, dude. That's it, max.
Yeah,
Bielsa comes in. He does incredible things with the right team. Bielsa there's a reason Guardiola literally went on a pilgrimage to Argentina to meet this guy at his house. Like, as a young coach, he flew to Argentina and convinced some guy to bring him to Bielsa's house. And Bielsa was like, who the hell is this guy? He was like, it's a young coach from Spain. He wants to talk to you. He's like, he's just flown here to Argentina. He's like, yeah. He's like, okay, it's Guardiola. He's like, oh, okay, I know the guy, a coach there. I know him. And he said, right, I wanted to talk to the mister, as he calls him, Bielsa. He's like, what you do is incredible. He said, Bielsa literally said, okay, I'll talk to you. Right, I'll talk to you. For a few years, we'll talk to you. And he brings out, basically, because we're talking hard copy back in the day, we're talking physical media right now. He brings out about 10 filing cabinets worth of folders of just football information. And Guardiola just sits. This is this like world famous kind of meeting where like the guy literally goes on a managerial pilgrimage. I would have killed you to have Bielsa for 2 years at Liverpool at his peak. Unbelievable. You think Klopp football is intense? This guy off the charts.
Yeah, that's why. It's not a maintain. It's not. It's not sustainable.
Yeah,
it's not
but 2 years of it.
Like
but 2 years of it, you win the league.
You guys are worried about like Fab breaking down and Hendo how he broke down, and how all these players like running in the system break down. Yeah, it would have been amazing.
Bring him in for 2 years. That's what you do, and then he leaves. Then he goes. Yep. It's just.
It's kind of like running your car on nitro. Like I don't know if you're like
pretty much, yeah.
Like the engine. Oh, for those years, it's high octane. It's going fast, but
he goes.
Yeah,
he knows. He knows though. He knows it. But I would have loved to see it. You think you've seen? Yeah, that guy is. I think a modern day a genius. He's just likely to beat you 8-0 or get bet 8-0. That's the problem. He won't change. It's like we're Leeds and we're playing against Barcelona. It's like, nope, we play the way we play. It's like, oh God, we're going to get destroyed. Yeah, but that's just the way it is.
Right. Yeah.
You play the right way. You don't change. You play the right way. It's like, yeah, but they've got Messi, Edo, and I don't care. We're playing 3-3-3-2-1. It's no. Oh, it's just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Is that Steve Winwood? Isn't that what's his name? No, is that Steve Winwood? That's just the way it goes.
Oh, that's just the way it is. I know the way. Yeah, that's just the way it is. I can't say it. Doodaloo.
In the rain.
Yeah. What was his name again? What was his name?
Bruce Hornsby.
Bruce Hornsby.
Yeah.
Yes.
Doodaloo.
Yeah.
I also Lee. I made a comment earlier on when we were talking about the thing. I don't know if you can answer it, but I said when we were talking about, so I said everyone else is doing it, so why can't we? Who do you know whose that? Whose album was that in the 90s?
Yeah,
I
was listening to that album recently, the Cranberries.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everyone else is doing it, so why can't we? The Cranberries. Yeah.
Thoughts and a few others that I like from it. Yeah, I like that album.
Yeah. R.I.P. Dolores.
Yeah. All right, guys. So tomorrow, there will be a watch along. That'll be later on in the day. Most likely, we will try to put together something for you during the early parts of the day in the normal 7 o'clock hour. We'll do our best to put together a show so we can maybe who knows, maybe with some of these exits, maybe there's some more movement on the now that we are past, because today is the cutoff for making it for PSR. So today was the cutoff for getting your books in order for PSR. So maybe there's some dealings out there. Yeah, some transfers that haven't been announced just yet, but are still getting fine-tuned and put together. So yeah, so big up to Marion, big up to Bonkers, big up Jimmy. Definitely see you next show. Big up to Norm that was here today. Big up to I don't know your name, but I know your name is a YouTube name. Big up to you as well. Shout out to Honesty, obviously. Shout out to High Lore as well. That was here earlier. K-Mac was in the house earlier. Dustin was here. Bernie was here. A lot of the really like Daryl was here. Can't forget Daryl, of course. And Dara was here. So shout out to a lot of those that showed love by at least tuning in, hopefully dropping a like, and hopefully pushing this on in the algorithm. MK Toe, can't forget you too as well, brother. But yes, is there anything that you guys want to say? We'll start with the Irishman first, then we'll go to JK and then Lee. Irishman, do you have something you want to say to people before we let them go?
Just lots of housekeeping. Definitely, if you haven't liked it, like it, and if you don't subscribe, then do subscribe. I hate saying the words, but yeah, just do that stuff in case you haven't, because I only just liked it now a second ago because I forget as well. So yeah, boring YouTube shit. Back tomorrow. See you soon.
Yeah. Big up to Mr. Ibrahim too, by the way. I didn't get this chance to say hello. And yes, JK, do you have something to say to the people? Oh, I can't forget Richard too, by the way. Sorry, Richard. Big up.
Yeah, but just say thanks to the chat and stuff and the guys here. Hope everyone's well. Keep healthy.
Yes, that is key. That is certainly key. Lee.
Yeah, thanks everybody. It was good to see England get through, I suppose. Whether you support England or not, it just keeps a little bit of extra interest going, doesn't it, to people? But I suppose there must have been quite a few people supporting England there in the chat, like, as well.
Yeah.
I thought I said that before. I thought we were out, so I've just got to want that. I was pleased that we're into face another day.
Yeah. I definitely hope we can bring the same enthusiasm and vibrant energy as a Jude Bellingham bicycle kick in the dying moments brought to some of those that were watching that England game. We can only hope for tomorrow, but we will certainly try as well. I think it will be a little bit more exciting of a watch than England has been so far in this tournament. So I hope that you do tune in tomorrow for both for a double header for some that do stick with us, a double header for a broadcast tomorrow. So definitely the panel will stay even after we end the segment. But so hang out guys if you can. But other than that, I just wanted to make sure to say I hope that your weekend has been great. I hope that that if it hasn't, that it turns the corner here and becomes great for you guys out there. We will certainly see you on Monday. And as always, as we always like to say, up the Reds, people, always up the Reds.